Good evening, everyone. I just realized that I was muted there. Actually, let me adjust my camera just a tad. There we go. There we go. There's a little koala. How's it going, everybody? Good to see everyone here. I got a bunch of people in the chat. I want to say hi to everybody, see what's going on. So, welcome everybody to my Saturday live stream. I'm going to try and make this kind of a regular thing where I live stream on Saturdays and check in with everybody, see how everybody's doing, talk about some stuff that's going on in the world. And of course, it is a weird world out there. Lots of weird stuff and some interesting things that we want to talk about. I actually had an interesting conversation with somebody on Discord earlier. I want to bring it up and chat with you, get y'all's opinion on this. It's kind of interesting stuff. So a little dark, but could be fun. But let's see who's in the chat right now. Yes, I saw that Gosh of Heckfire was in there earlier. I set up the stream on the wrong side, via the YouTube studio instead of through StreamYard. I made the mistake again, so I had to quickly redo it over on the StreamYard side so that way I can get all my cool stuff in here. And all the banners and neat stuff and put in the music and everything, because StreamYard's what I have set up. I don't currently have OBS set up. I'm currently figuring out how to use that. And I don't want to start using it before I figured it all out, because I don't want a whole bunch of errors and people having to wait for stuff. And I want to make sure I understand it fully before I dive into it. So let's see who is in the chat tonight. I see Surf is in the house. Good to see you, Surf. And Many Hanged Men. Good to see you. Many Hanged Men is who I was actually chatting with over in the Discord. Turing Test 2 is in the house. One of the members of the Godless Army, because memberships are available on my channel, and you get access. You get the membership badge, and you get access to all of the cool emojis that I have made for you, like crying Otangelo and Darth Dawkins with red duct tape on his face and Donut Earth, all kinds of fun stuff. All right, so thank you, Turing Test 2. Good to see you. And Charlie Welch in the house says, just saying hi, JL. Lady coming over momentarily. We'll definitely listen later. Keep it up, pal. Will do, sir. Thank you so much, Charlie Welch, the only man on the internet you never make a bet with. Also a member of the Godless Army. Good to see you, Charlie. Have fun tonight. Sir Little Wolf is in the house. Says, what's all this then? This is my Saturday live stream. Hopefully it'll be a continuing thing that I constantly do. Seems to be, looking good so far. So, Lawler's Corner, good to see you. Says, g'day, humans. Robert Caslow, what's up, my Globetards? Good to see you, Robert. Fantastic. Oh, yes, Lawler's Corner says, love the koala. Yes, this little bad boy was a gift from Irish Demon. Sent this to me all the way from Australia, because I sent him some cool stuff from Texas when I was living in Texas. And this is a cool little guy that he sent me, and I figured he's a clip-on, so I figured the best place for him would be here. Right here on the microphone, on the filter, on the pop filter here. So here's my little guy, and he hangs out with me and says hello to everybody because he's cute as hell. All right, let me see. Also see Robert Castle, also called butt monkeys, refer to Nathan Oakley for reference. Hey, yes, he is a butt monkey. All right. Oh, there's those. Yes, there's those emojis. I see him crying Otangelo, Darth with tape on his face. Bob Nodell's Gyroscope's house says, hey there, good sir. Good to see you. Good to see you, Bob Nodell's Gyroscope. Bob Nodell, I got to give him credit because he was going through a previous debate that I had with Otangelo, and he found the moment when Otangelo lost the debate completely. And that is on my channel. So if you go and you ever look at that, it's in the comment section. I timestamped it, where this moment where Otangelo just straight lost the debate when he's like, facts are irrelevant. We're just going to talk about what we feel. And it was like, yeah, no, that's not how that works. So, but thank you. Good to see you, Bob Nodell's Gyroscope. All right. And Robert Caslow says, did you send him the hot sauce? I did not send him any hot sauce. He ordered that himself. The Reaper Squeezins, he ordered that himself. So I have not sent him, or I haven't sent him any of that stuff. I sent him a bunch of Mexican candy, which he wasn't anticipating, really, really funky stuff. Because, Mexican candy, they make a lot of the stuff they do with Chile, and he wasn't expecting that. So if you want probably one of the funniest videos I've ever seen in my lifetime, if you go to Irish Demon's channel and find the video where he's doing an unboxing and he's taste testing all of the Mexican candy that I sent him, or Mexican stuff, is absolutely it drops me on my ass every time I watch it. It is so damn funny. Absolutely hysterical stuff. Oh, I see Red Ink is in the house. Is Space Guam Cadet of Precepts of Otangelo coming tonight? Maybe. Apparently, there is a method of summoning Otangelo that you have to like say, if you say I guess I think if you say Otangelo 3 times in a row and then sacrifice a mitochondria, then Otangelo will suddenly appear. So most likely, I actually think he may be subscribed to my channel. So he may jump in. He may pop in to be like, the Earth is 6,700 years old or some crap. So it's funny stuff, but he may. And Redding, your shirt, Redding, your Bridge the Divide shirt should be on the way. Teespring is having some difficulties right now. I don't know what the issue is, but hopefully the shirt should be on the way to you soon, or it should have arrived. Give me a heads up. So I want that to get to you ASAP because I owe you that shirt. Yes, because Bridge the Divide shirts are available on my Teespring as well, on the Teespring for Bridge the Divide. And you can get it with the Bridge the Divide logo across the top. Thank you to Johnny O for helping me design that, make sure it looks good. And so there's Surf Again, says, hello, Boop. Good to see you, Surf. Robert Castle says, Alabama is providing globe Earth proof by booting Southern Mississippi into low Earth orbit. Or SMIS into low Earth orbit. That's hilarious. And and Surf says, now that you mentioned him, he will. Most likely, he may pop up eventually. So this is really interesting. Awesome. Thank you, Redding. Yeah, okay. So hopefully that will be getting to you soon. So because I do have those. I do have those available on my Teespring. So those says, crap, sets up anti-cross crosses. All right. So before we dive into stuff that's going on right now, I wanted to actually, let me move this so I can keep an eye on the live chat. There we go. So Robert Caslow says, I'm in a restaurant where the waitresses prove curvature. Ooh, that's an excellent restaurant to be at. Very cool. And Surf says, Otangelo's been bugging Godless Granny now. He bugs everybody until eventually he gets so booted that he can't come on anymore. I know that he was bugging Jefferson Spatchcock, and then he got booted out of that live chat, and then he went over to Discord, started bugging people over there, and then he went back. It's just, that's all he does, is he just wanders around trying to find somebody, and so he can just start throwing his copy pasta at him, thinking that he's actually converting somebody by using bad science and bad argumentation. That's just what he is. That's just what he does. You know, he's one of the worst. But first thing I want to mention is that this whole the whole thing about pink beard. So yes, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which is pretty awesome. It's a big thing that I'm always been a supporter. I've been a supporter every year. My mother is the one who kind of like taught, informed me about it, years and years ago. And I've always been a huge supporter about it. And the idea is pink being, like the Susan G. Komen Foundation, pink is the color to support that. And so, yes, the idea was that the Four Beardsmen, at minimum, the Four Beardsmen will dye our beards pink for the month of October. There's supposed to be like a $10 per day deal. For every $10 we get, we'll keep it pink for a day. And I'm still undecided, because not so much as, as a matter of being afraid of dyeing it pink. I could definitely do that, but of where I live, because I live, the area that I moved to is a particularly conservative place, and it could attract, and I don't think anybody's going to mess with me out in public. No one's going to walk up to me and be like, you get in my face. It's an invitation for conflict out in public that I'd rather not have, or I'd rather just kind of like try to avoid. But that will not preclude me from doing it, because I said that while I'm undecided currently, if you want to force my hand and make me dye my beard pink or at least this part pink for the entirety of, the whole, because I got to bleach it out, and then I gotta dye it pink. If you want me to dye it pink for the whole of October, then I would like everybody to go jump over and subscribe to my Week in Horror podcast if you have not already. Because if we can get, and the objective was, if we can get Week in Horror to 1,000 subs, then I will guarantee there will be no limitation. It won't be like $10 a day. It'll just be like, we hit 1,000 subs over a Week in Horror, which is a huge milestone for us. We hit that, this thing will go pink for all of October. Done deal. There won't be like a $10 minimum like this. It'll just be boom. That's what it is. If we hit that, it'll be a huge milestone for me, for Johnny O, for Eugene, and for Alex, and the work that we do. And I will be happy. I will be more than happy to do this. And I'll just kind of shutter myself in the house, or I'll limit my activity outside, so it doesn't warrant any, attraction from people who are deeply conservative and, who are homophobic and afraid. I see some new people have jumped in. Let me see. So Surf says yes. Yes to pink beard. So that's a whole big thing is people want me to, dye my beard pink. Well, if you want to force my hand, then definitely sub to Weekend Horror. Let me see. Robert Kessler says, Tangelo would bug a termite mound. That's funny because they're bugs. Surf says, find you a crocheted pink beard. Those look so goofy. I'd rather just dye it pink. I would. But they, like I said, sub over to Weekend Horror and you'll be in good shape. As a matter of fact, it may be helpful just for the sake of it. Why not just link it, which is what I will do. I will link this and I'll put the link in the chat. Boop. Let's do that. Wait, no, delete that. And paste. Boom. That is the link to Weekend Horror. So you could jump over there and you could sub to that. If we get to 1,000, we're just shy of the halfway mark, just shy of 500. If we can get 500 subs, before October 1st, then this is going pink all October. No questions about it. No ifs, ands, or buts. So, and I will gladly do it. Let me see. Let's see. Sir Little Wolf says he would almost look like Jim the Anvil knit art. KCA Randy, good to see you. Thank you so much for popping in. It says, why would you move there if you can't be yourself? It's kind of one of those life circumstances. My wife and I got an excellent real estate opportunity in Texas because real estate was booming in Texas, and it got super, super hot. And we already had a property up here in Oklahoma, courtesy of her family. So because her family is big into real estate. And so there was a property up here that they had that nobody was living in, and it was all fixed up and done. And so it was kind of like we had to weigh it. It was like, well, we have this property up here in Oklahoma and up in very rural Oklahoma. And we have the property in Texas where we were just seeing the price of it just go up, up, up through the roof. So we took advantage of the extremely hot market, and we got lucky because we sold to a corporation that buys houses. We didn't sell to another family. We sold to a corporation, an actual corporation that buys houses. They go and then they fix them up a little bit and they put it back on the market. So we sold it to a flipper, but we pulled a very tidy profit. We pulled a very tidy profit off that house. So it was an excellent real estate opportunity. That profit we were pulled out of the house that enabled us to wipe out all of our debt. So pay off the car, pay off all of our cards, pay off virtually of like everything. And then of course with the government reduction in Angela's student loans, we're able to knock this. So we were able to essentially move to a property into a quiet place, which I like. It has, there's no light pollution. I can see the sky. I can do astronomy again. I can, do that cool stuff. And then a huge giant backyard for the dogs, where we could actually maybe add another dog. And then because we have the room for it now, no debt whatsoever, free and clear, with no mortgage or rent necessity. The property is already ours. All we have to do is just cover the property taxes and the water and the electricity, and that's it. And why wouldn't I? Because I can get out from underneath my car payment. I get out from underneath having to have full cover insurance. I can go liability only. I rarely drive that much anymore because I don't need to, because everything's kind of so far away. You pretty much make one trip, you load up, and then you'll go like next month. So it worked out perfectly. And of course, I have this much bigger office. I can display all my cool stuff so everybody can see it. As you can see, I've been playing with the lights and just trying to make it kind of neat so it's lit up. And it's just been coming together. So when you weigh the benefit versus the cost would be like, I'm in a very, very conservative part of town. And of course, I'm an atheist, and there are like 3 churches within a stone's throw from my home. Yeah, I could deal with that. I could accept that risk. I could accept the fact that I may get a name for myself in this very small town as like the atheist YouTuber. And you never know what will happen. But what I discovered is there actually is an atheist community here in this town. And it's got about 100 people in it. And when I told them I'd moved here and they found out I was a YouTuber, they were like, oh, this is amazing. So, and, I just kind of like, hey, I'm here. And then there may be some things coming in the future. There may be some things that we work on. I have no idea. But yeah, it was worth it. It was definitely worth it. There's going to be some risk with every big change, but, what are you going to do? See, Commander Darklight is in the house, and one member of the Godless Army. Thank you so much, Commander Darklight. And He's up and one of our biggest supporters over at Week in Horror over the podcast. So good to see you, Commander Darklight, all the way from Australia. Mr. Andrat, good to see you. Clive Wells, Dr. Clive Wells to you is in the house. And one of my big resources, one amazingly educated and intelligent individual who's always willing to help me out. And, if I have a big question regarding physics, something like that, he can always help me out and be like, no, you're looking at it the wrong way. You need to do it this way. So he's been, what is it? He's been an amazing resource to take. I couldn't do it without him. So good to see you, Clive Wells. So the Wolf says, what if you already have already? Unsub and resub? I guess. Reddick says, are you in a dry county in Oklahoma? I am not in a dry county in Oklahoma. So no, there is much booze and a lot of weed. There's a lot of booze, there's a lot of weed, and there's a lot of churches. So there's more churches and weed shops because marijuana is, the laws are very lax up here. All you need is your license in order to sell. And there's some restrictions on like you can sell and if you're going to just be a distributor or you're going to be a grower or whatever. But yeah, they're all over the place. They popped up like Starbucks. So I think on the main street that leads down to the rural street that runs up to my place, there's like 4 weed dispensaries that are all it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, they're all the way down, all the way going into like downtown. So yeah, there's this weed, churches, and liquor is what it's all about. Let me see here. Robert Castle says we could watch the Creature feature. Oops, that's the Trump rally. My bad. Yeah. Ugh. Gross. Oh, thank you, sir. Says sub to Week in Horror. Yeah, don't worry. You can unsub after he dyes his beard. That would work. I wouldn't care. It's all good. I mean, but I don't think you would unsub because we have a pretty amazing show over at Week in Horror. And so Little Wolf says people are stupid. They are. I mean, some are. Not all people. But yeah, I mean, in this rural community, there's a lot of... In this rural community that I live in, there's a lot of, I guess, I would say ignorance. I would say people ignorant of what's going on outside in the world. I mean, it's pretty much a perma-red state. I moved from a blue state to a perma-red state. But it's interesting because in a blue state, you can find yourself in kind of an echo chamber because everybody around you kind of agrees with you to some degree. Whereas here, everyone is almost diametrically opposed to me. To my viewpoints on whether I'm pro-choice, I'm a methodological naturalist, I'm an atheist, all these things. So I'm I consider myself pretty well educated and well read, but up here that's not the case. But that just means I can bring something to the table that's not usually there. Whether they like it or not, I'm still able to bring something to the table, which is good. All right. And Robert Kess says, no beard dreads. Not long enough for dreads. My wife tried to braid this bad boy once, and there's just not enough, Just not enough there. Redding says, a Tangelo argument style like Beaker. I'm up show. Me. It's so very true. Very, very true. Hey, Plothole says, yo, drive by. Hello. Good to see you, Plothole, a member of the Godless Army. Good to see you. And Commander Darklight, how is Week in Horror not already over 1K? That show is awesome. 3 seasons in, we're not over 1K yet, but soon. And of course, if we hit 1K over there, beard's going pink. You want to see JL with a pink beard? I'll be happy to do it all October. It's gonna be fun. John Rapp is in the house. Everyone show John Rapp the love. John Rapp says, homophobic? Is that an aversion to Homo sapiens? Check. Yeah, you'd think it would be. Yeah. So it says like a CC drive-by. Oh, yeah, Surfa's right. Hit the brakes. Stay for a while and listen. For those Diablo fans out there. KC Aran says, cool, makes sense. I'm in KC, by the way. Not far from OK. No mortgage is a big deal. It is a very big deal. Yes, very big deal. Hey, there's H. Jasper E. Says, yeah, why not? Have it. Says, yeah, and a member of the Godless Army. Good to see you. And a recent patron supporter of Week in Horror. Good to see you, H. Jasper. UKPI now says, already subbed, but definitely go pink. UK, let's see what happens. I'm undecided now. I haven't said yes or no, but if you want to force my hand, Week in Horror is there. The link is in the chat. All right. And Clive Wells says, you need 3 stones for 3 churches. It's so true. You must hate Sundays. It's interesting on Sundays. I'll tell you that. It's interesting. And well, mostly because on Sundays, I'm very structured. like when it comes to my eating schedule. And unfortunately, the nearest Wendy's is almost in the next county. But there is this place that's nearby, this little burger joint that's family owned, and they're fantastic. They're so good. Little on the expensive side, but that's because of the way they do their vegetables, fresh every day, the way they cook, they have limited staff, but they have big numbers. So they need to consistently replenish their food, their supplies. And so they're a little on the expensive side, but man, is it worth it. On Sundays, they are so hard to get to because there's two churches, one on either side, one next door to them and one on the other side. One is a Protestant church and the other one is a Lutheran church. And on Sundays, it is so hard to get to my burger joint. I love that place. So I have to wait. But, the first world sacrifices we make, Cindy Johnson, good to see you, says, good evening, JL. Good to see you, Cindy. Appreciate you being here. And Robert Kazan says, tell the churches the benefits of following Yog-Sothoth, the most loving of the elder gods. That's true. Yog-Sothoth. He is one. He does wish to give you a hug with all of his arms. Rennick says 100 people in a group. That is considerable. Yeah. You never know. We might be able to put some things together, which would be really interesting. Oh, there's Jarl Webbard. Good to see you, Jarl. Says all people are stupid. It's okay. Majority. A lot, but not all. We have some really amazingly smart, especially everybody in this live chat. Very intelligent people. He asked earlier if I'd say a good majority are, unfortunately. And John says, weed, I can't stop them. Fantastic stuff. Oh, Jarl says, Ella, over here, you want to have a mortgage, taxes and stuff. A lot of people do an extensions to get a new mortgage for €10 a month. Interesting stuff. Plottle says, JL, go look at Venus. Well, I can't look at Venus. I'm currently in my office. So is there something special going on with Venus at the moment? Let's find out. I'm very curious. I know it's perfect time. It's 7:55, so I know Venus is going to be really visible at the moment. He says, careful. Oh, Tangelo might be in here. Oh, he just might be. Let me see. Venus. What is going on with Venus at the moment? Oh, no. Okay, don't just Google Venus. See results about Venus planet. Okay, there we go. Something going on about it? I'm assuming it's very, very bright. That's what I'm saying. I'm assuming that it's very, yeah, you can just see it really well. Very cool. Awesome. And I also plan on getting a new telescope so that I can go out and do, stargazing and stuff and actually look at stuff now that I can see it, which is pretty cool. All right. And St. John says, if you say everyone is stupid at work, you can't get in trouble for calling any particular person as being stupid. Okay. So this is interesting. So a couple of things. Well, actually, I had a list here of things I want to talk about. So first and foremost, I wonder which topic should I jump into? So the topics that I wanted to jump into. No, Robert Caswell, I did not just say penis. Shit. He got me. He got me. I'll throw a titties in there just as well because that's apparently a thing. So this is interesting stuff. So the first and foremost, so the topics I was thinking about bringing up, being a weird world. First and foremost was Plato says lurk mode engage traveling. Oh yes, just make sure that you keep your papers with you. And the first thing was obviously about I wanted to talk about Ken Hovind going to jail. That Jagoff got sent to 30 days. So we have a month with no Ken Hovind, which is nice. Now, there may be other people that upload on his channel, but there's a month of Ken Hovind who will be sitting in the clink over his third-degree domestic abuse charge from his ex-girlfriend or ex-spiritual wife. I have no idea. But yeah, so we could talk about that. And, that dingus. And will this actually affect his Clive Wells, inmate number 06452-017. Yep. So we talk about, but will this affect it at all? Will anybody actually look at this and go like, it really doesn't matter? Or will they just, be like, oh no, she's just an unbeliever. And, he was doing whatever. So yeah, that's kind of it. I'm just kind of curious. The second thing was like this new Mario movie, which I know is such a left turn, but it's weird. Because I'm a big gamer. I'm a giant gamer. And I have a case over here that unfortunately you can't see that is full of stuff that I've collected over the years that is just like rare stuff, from gaming. Rare consoles, all kinds of various things. And this new Mario movie that was just announced and the voices that are being chosen for it, which I don't know if I 100% agree on, like that. So there was that. And then, of course, a fantastic conversation to have. I was talking with somebody in Discord about how the cannibalism aspect of the sacrament in Christianity, even when I was a devout believer, the cannibalism aspect always gave me the skeevies. I always got skeeved out by that. I was like, this is weird. It was just the action, just the kind of idea, even in mock action, the kind of idea of what is it, of condoning cannibalism just always weirded me out on kind of like a basal level. Just like kind of hit me. I was like, this is strange. I don't know why it feels strange to me. I don't know whatever, but it just kind of like, it really didn't. It didn't sit well with me. And it was just one of those rituals, just kind of like, so there was interesting stuff there. So yeah, but first and foremost, Ken Hovind. So we all know Ken Hovind is a D-hole and is an anti-science, anti-intellectual. Some questionable things going on out there at his dino ranch. But recently, as most people know, Ken Hovind was arrested for domestic assault in the third degree because he apparently assaulted his spiritual wife, the woman that he's like spiritually married to, because he's technically still married to his second wife. And though they're estranged from one another, he is spiritually married, not legally, but they had a ceremony that apparently they're now, spiritually married in the eyes of God. Well, apparently they got into a scrape at their like trailer compound, whatever the hell he's got over there. And she threatened to kind of expose him or say some shit, and he got mad and he body slammed her because I believe if I remember correctly, someone mentioned that he has training in judo, or it's either judo or some other martial art, and he kind of like used a maneuver on her and slammed her to the ground. So she took off, she left, and she, called the cops, and the cops came out, and he got arrested. He bonded out, and now a judge has sentenced him to 30 days plus fines for third-degree assault. And I believe they most likely dropped the battery charge because while he may have hurt her, he didn't it wouldn't be enough to constitute a battery charge, or maybe they plead guilty to third-degree assault and will drop the battery charge. Who knows what went on behind closed doors when they were doing that, but there was no trial. So they most likely plead guilty to a lesser charge and just take the fine, 30 days in the clink, and then you're out, and then we're done. So that may have been what his lawyer recommended. Otherwise, they could have gone full on because he has training, and he used that training against her. That could have resulted in an aggravated assault charge because he knows what he's doing. And if they push the issue and went before a jury or even just went before a judge, then the judge could be like, look, you have training, you're trained in martial arts, you use a martial arts technique against her. It's not like you just tried to remove yourself from the situation. Even if she became hostile, you could have walked away, you could have called the police, but no, you put your hands on her and you used your martial arts training against her. That could have easily been an aggravated assault charge. So I'm thinking that they probably pled it down and he pled guilty, and that's why he got the lesser charge. Because, save the taxpayer money. They're not going to fuck around with it. But let me see here. Ken Hovind, 30 days in jail, which is a month with no Ken Hovind bullshit. So, yeah, it was 3 days ago. It was reported by the Friendly Atheist, which is the friendlyatheist.pathos.com. It's over off Pathos. And then Gracious Ken Hovind sentenced to 30 days in jail for domestic violence. And they have a picture of the affidavit. And that affidavit says in the District Court of Conecuh County, Alabama. So this day, Cindy Lincoln personally appeared this day. Cindy Lincoln and made oath that he has probable cause. Before me, a magistrate personally appeared to this day, Cindy Lincoln, and made oath that he has probable cause for believing. He does believe that before the filing of Ken Hovind, whose name is otherwise not known to affiant, did commit the crime of assault third degree pursuant to section 13A-6-22 of the Code of Alabama, to wit. Did with intent to cause physical injury to another person, cause physical injury to Cindy Lincoln by throwing her to the ground, while the victim is a current or former spouse, parent, child, or any person with whom the defendant has a child in common, a present or former household member, or a person who has had or had a dating or engagement relationship with the defendant, to wit, spouse in violation of Section 13(6)(132) of the Code of Alabama and against the peace and dignity of the state of Alabama. You're hereby commanded to arrest Kent Hovind and bring him before the district court on the end. It looks like it hasn't been filled out. Witnesses Cindy Lincoln, and it has her information on there. That's why I didn't want to show this image, because it actually has Cindy's personal details on it as a part of the affidavit, and I didn't want to accidentally dox her. Witness by hand and seal, 19th day of July, and then the magistrate's number, and then of course, there's Kent Hovind's personal information as well. So I don't want to accidentally dox the dude, but this was sworn out. This arrest affidavit and warrant. This warrant was issued on the 19th day of July, is when that was originally issued out. And then, of course, he was arrested and then bonded out. Now he's been sentenced to 30 days. He was sentenced to, let's see. He was sentenced to 1 year. Here's the bottom line. So the IRS, his longtime Hovind watchdog, former IRS appeals officer Robert Batty got his hands on the relevant documents. He says, here's the bottom line. Hovind was sentenced to 1 year in jail, but the judge will let him serve 30 days in county beginning on October 18th at the latest, while being placed then on a 1 year unsupervised probation. That sounds like it was a plea down. So because he threw himself on the mercy of the court, whether he pled guilty or pled no contest, he threw himself on the mercy of the court. He didn't fight it. So there you go. He says Hovind must also pay a $500 fine, court costs, a $100 bail bond fee, and $2,124.72 to cover Lincoln's medical expenses. Hovind is forbidden from having any contact with Lincoln or coming within 500 feet of her, and he must surrender all of his firearms to the Conecuh County Sheriff's Office. So yes, he is going to jail for 30 days for physically assaulting his ex-girlfriend. And it's, obviously this is not the first time he's been behind bars. So interesting. So that's pretty much the breakdown. That's all we've got. We're getting that. Casey Randy says, Suplex City. Oh, it's messed up. Let's see. Redding says prior Fed pen for tax fraud for, families cut him off. Yeah, pretty much. And yes, Marcus Dresden's in the house. Good to see you, Marcus Dresden. And he says Hovind sucks. Hovind does suck. He sucks, donkey balls. Jarl Weber, did you hear of the Mormon practice of soaking? That sounds familiar. Someone mentioned that to me before. Let me look it up. I'm going to look it up here in just a moment. Jack Burton's in the house. Good to see you. Jack Burton says these religious fundies can't handle their women. Not a good charge to have around hardened criminals. No, it is not. But, he's just going to be in county. So it's not like he's going to the pen. County lockup. Yeah, that's whatever. Especially in Alabama. It's just a bunch, it's not that. It's not going to be something hardcore. He's not going to the Alabama State Penitentiary. He's just going to county lockup for 30 days and then going back out, going back on unsupervised probation, which means he doesn't have to check in with a PO. Let's see. Bob Nadell Gyroscope says, JL, Dr. Dino would have to be the most intellectually dishonest scumbag on the planet. He's one of them. He's up there. He's up there with, fuckers like, Joel Osteen, Kenneth Copeland, Darth Dawkins, Otangelo, people like that. Absolutely. Redding says, Dinoland Park where Moses has a T-Rex ranch. Oh, that's funny. And, if they ever do, if the legal fees ever get too much for Hovind and he has to sell that shit off, I can guarantee you, Johnny O and I will be out there at his liquidation fair when they're like, maybe they have to auction everything off in order to pay, cover fees or some shit. If that ever happens, Johnny and I are going to be there. We're going to pick some stuff up. We will. Johnny really wants Ken Hovind's desk. He wants his desk, and that would be hilarious. I want one of his dinosaurs. They're kind of janky and cheap. Given the pictures, if you go on Google and look up the reviews, they're kind of janky, cheap. It's so cringe out there. But I would imagine if I had a Hovind dinosaur sitting over there in the room, that'd be hilarious. And Robert Caslow, yes, I have seen Aaron Ra's series on Hovind's lives, and it is fantastic. If you have not had a chance to go subscribe to Aaron Ra's channel, definitely go check that out. He is an awesome, awesome dude. Really, really smart. And I hope to have him one day on the channel if I ever get big enough. I hope Aaron will pop by and just say hello. That would be kind of cool. Yep, I've been enjoying that series. It's great stuff. Reddick says, maybe Hovind has a Brachiosaurus or something like that. And Ham has a T-Rex on the Ark he built that is flooded and had to use flood insurance. It's so very true. I think he's got velociraptors. I think he's got raptors in the Ark. And that's something that the Beardsmen would like to do one day. The four Beardsmen, me, Johnny O, PhD Tony, and Irish Demon, we would all like to go to the Ark Encounter sometime to actually take a look. It would be a lot of fun. Most likely have to go with like a hidden GoPro or something so we can look inside. Skooma Cat says, hello. Good to see you, Skooma Cat. Thank you for joining us. Chris Durham Music Channel is in the house because he says, I wonder if his little fanboy Matt Powell will still love him as much now that he's in jail. Given that Matt Powell is pretty much an incel himself, just given his rhetoric. And now he may not have addressed certain things, but I can see where he's going. Given probably his attitude towards women, then I'm thinking, no, he's probably going to be in the same boat. He'll probably be like, yeah, that woman, is what triggered this whole thing. It's all her fault. Because they can't fucking recognize that shit. So they're completely self-unaware. They have no ability to, I guess, self-critique. So, yeah, no, I think Matt Powell will continue to support him. Because he'll just blame her. He'll just blame Cindy. Jalen Raps, Joe, and now Kent can feel Jesus in him. And Bubba. Feel the warmth of God in you. Hey, Mr. Malort says, hello, fitness friends. Member of the Godless Army. Good to see you, Mr. Malort. And see, Cindy Johnson says, there's a stream by Jimmy Snow right now on the subject of soaking. From what I remember, if I remember correctly, it's gross. It's something disgusting, but I have to look into it. Mr. Malort says, check out the Netflix series Midnight Mass Horror. I heard it was nuts. I do want to check that out. Yes, I do want to see that. And did I see NA is in the house? Good to see you, NA. A supporter not only of my channel, but also of Week in Horror. Thank you so much, NA. And I hope you got the message from Patreon that I sent you. So thank you so much, NA. You are the man. Let's see. Clive Wells, Kent the Clown's latest book, How to Prepare for Jail Time by Kay Hovind. Escambia County Jail Press. That's hilarious. That's amazing. Skeptic Dank is in the house. Good to see you, Skeptic Dank. Oh, so many amazing people. Robert Caslow says, Hovind is a Proctosaurus. I'm imagining there's something to do with butts. Bob Nodell says, I want his SpongeBob and mallet. I want to be able to whack a Jesus freak. That would be amazing. That would be cool. Surf says, you don't need to be a big channel for R and Raw. Possibly. I'll reach out. And see, because I know he's super, super busy. So I'll reach out and see what he says. Maybe I can have him on the show sometime. That'll be fun. Ugly German Truths is in the house. Says, oh, darn. Coming right into the painful parts. Then jail warrant. First word she said was Matt Powell. Feels like being punched right in the ears. Sorry about that. Yeah, we're talking. Here's a little balm for your eardrums. We're talking about what an asshole Ken Hovind is, and how he pretty much weaseled his way out of getting a bigger punishment for assaulting his ex-girlfriend. But yeah, this douchebag. But the question remains: will people start keep supporting him? And most likely they will. That most likely these incel motherfuckers, they'll just blame her. They'll blame Cindy. They'll heap all the blame on her that somehow she started it. She caused it, completely unaware of the fact that Ken Hovind most likely did it himself. And the fact that she threatened to kind of reveal what's going on out there. Apparently there's unscrupulous dealings. Surprise, surprise, out at the Dino Land. And, that's pretty much it. So he assaulted her for it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So Facty's in the house. Good to see you, Facty. Fantastic. Ugly German Jew says, it's sex, but also not. Sticking it in, but then not moving as it was. Oh, yeah, okay. That's just weird. That's just strange. Soaking, yeah, like soaking in her vagina. That's fucking, I guess whatever floats their boat. Abstinence, and yeah, Robert Cass says soaking involves abstinence and sex at the same time. It's weird. Ugly German Jew says, I said, as soon as I heard he got convicted in 30 days, they should respect his life's work and give him 40. 40 days, 40 nights. That's good. And UKPA says, some people think jail is one word, but to Ken Hovind's, it's a whole sentence. And Robert Caslow, you're right. It probably, soaking probably is very, very fetishist. And it kind of follows with the ideology of the Mormon church. I have a friend who works kind of like in the background of several. He's a big supporter of Week in Horror. He's been my best friend for over almost 30 years now. He was the best man at my wedding, and he is former LDS. We should probably have him on the show sometime so we could talk about that. But yeah, he's former LDS, and he recognized that the day he began his deconversion was when the day he realized he could say the word fuck or goddamn and not be struck down by lightning. That was the day he was like, when he uttered those words out loud and he wasn't struck down by the Almighty. And he realized there's probably something wrong with this, because he had this belief, and then he just, he was angry one day and he did it and nothing happened. So that was when he was kind of like, maybe I don't have all the information. And that's what started his journey. And he eventually did deconvert. Oh, I see Kevin Paul is now says morning room. Morning, Kevin Paul. Good to see you. And Ugly German Jew says, it is one of the uglier consequences of purity culture. I can't help but fear a whole lot of ladies in Utah will become mothers way before they're ready or count on. That's that whole thing. That's the whole Mormon ideology, you know. Is about breeding, is about not wasting the seed, or not engaging in sex without engaging in pleasure. Is that, you know, so you don't do it for the pleasurable reasons. You recognize that sex is only for procreation. That's the only intention for it. And then the whole act of it is just, you shouldn't be driving any pleasure out of that. But I guess those Mormons did not watch the series Big Love with the late Bill Paxton, because there was a lot of that going on in that show. And he was playing an Orthodox LDS who actually had multiple wives. So, yeah, that was an old show, but really, really good. Well acted. Let's see. I think who are his wives? Jean Triplehorn, Chloe Sevigny, and I can't remember her name from she played Snow White in Once Upon a Time. But yeah, Gina, Jenny something. Anyway, I can't remember her name. But yeah, that was a good show on HBO. I think it went for 3 seasons before it got canceled. But yes, Kent Hovind, 1 month with no Kent Hovind. So, you know, what are we going to do? Well, guess what? We're going to live our fucking lives is what we're going to do. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to counteract his message. I think that the people that support him, they think that he's going to be in the right, that the state is just like, overreaching, that, it's all his ex-girlfriend's fault. They're just going to blame her. And I feel bad for her because it's not exactly like she's got the means to get out of there and just relocate her life when she lives in the town where all these people know of Kent. He's their local celebrity. And now she's got to deal with, being the stigma of being the girl that sent, or being the woman that sent Kent Hovind to jail for 30 days. So I feel for her. I sympathize with her. Regardless of her beliefs, no one deserves to be in that situation. And those are kind of, that's kind of dicey. I feel bad because it's going to be tough just to go to the store for that young lady. So yeah, my thoughts are with her. Robert Castle says we can make fun of Mud Fossil U. That dude is a lunatic. Is an absolute lunatic. It's just why, I just don't get it. But it's just one of those things. We live in a very, very weird world. That's the world we live in. So beyond that, see, Bob Nodell says, so I'm guessing Ken Hovind believes in Ephesians 6:5 parallel verses. Then, no doubt. There's some interesting stuff about the Bible as well. Because I had that whole thing I was talking about with Johnny O on last night's plot hole stream about the Bible and using the Bible essentially, one of the big problems with that. And it's not just the problem of evil, because my argument was kind of a take on the problem of evil. But I want to pose this to potential to theists. I want to pose this to theists to potentially, to get their kind of take on it and see what happens. As a matter of fact, the argument that I posed to Johnny O last night, and I wanted to talk with Rob Parks. Rob Parks is an amazing supporter of this channel. He's an amazing member of the community. I actually wanted to chat with Rob Parks about that, about what I was talking about. I wanted to bring him to the show, but unfortunately he's working right now. And that's okay, Rob. I understand. I went through a long period of time where I work nights as well. So, you got to do what you got to do. But hopefully I'll have you on there was a rain check. We'll get Rob on the show, and I'll chat with him then about the whole situation. But there's a possibility, fingers crossed, and I know so many of you are going to groan about this, and I'm prepared for it. I already got groans from the others that I was talking about. I may go on MDD and debate Nathan Thompson about this. Yeah, I can already feel the waves. Coming off of that. I know he is an absolute waste. I know it's no point on, but it will not be about flat Earth. It will not be about flat Earth. It will not be about the science of the Earth. It will be about none of that. It will just be about the Bible and the existence of his God. And it will be about using the Bible to basically say, this is the corner that it paints you into that you can't get out of without appealing to emotion, arguing from ignorance, arguing from incredulity, and that if you are intellectually honest, you've got to change your position on the nature or existence of God. That's just the reality of it. And I know that I'm It may not be the absolute best, and I'm still working on kind of streamlining it to make it easier to understand. It may not be the best, but I know that it touches somewhere because the theists that I've given this to have reacted very interestingly to it on Discord. So I'm curious as to what Thompson would do. Now, I would not be giving Thompson any money, Jarl. I know that James pays him, but that's James's money. And if the opportunity arises, my channel is small enough that I couldn't pass up a window to be on a channel as large as James has cultivated. That audience there, I can't pass up that opportunity. I just can't. So if it even comes up, this is not guaranteed. This is not a guaranteed thing. I've put it out there. I've contacted them, said, hey, Nathan Thompson's looking for people to argue about the Bible, about the existence of God. I'm an atheist. I'll be happy to do this. And Nathan Thompson's caveat is that he wanted to be from the Bible. Well, I can use the Bible, no problem, because I don't think he knows the Bible as well as he thinks he does. And I know it better than he does. So I'd be happy to jump in there and I'll formulate it. If that gets set up, you'll obviously see it pop up in MDD, but I haven't heard anything back yet. So we'll see. Just that's a possibility in the future, Clive Wells says, Kent is the mental and fundamentalist. He so is. He absolutely is. Skeptic Dank says, someone needs to ask Hovind about stone tools next time he brings up hydrologic sorting in a debate. Why did they all sink to the bottom? Good point. Good point. And yes, Marcus Dresden, Thompson is trash. He is trash. But I gotta be fair. I've never heard Nathan Thompson argue or debate the Bible. I've only ever heard him debate flat Earth. So his scientific understanding is just jank. It's absolutely jank. But I've never heard him debate the Bible. I don't know. I've heard him yell scripture at people, but I've never heard him debate the Bible. And I wonder if it's just as bad. It most likely is just as bad, but I'm curious. And, when I can use the Bible against him and I can actually hammer him with something, it should be very, very interesting. I want to see maybe he'll rage. Maybe I have no idea. But it'll be, I'd like, something other than flat Earth. I'd like to be able to take him on with that one. Because I know he won't come on my channel because I'm not going to pay him shit. UKPS says, Sophie Lowe was in Once Upon a Time in Wonderland. If I remember correctly, let me see. It was Once. The American drama series and Jennifer Goodwin. Jennifer Goodwin was Snow White in that. That's right. Jennifer Goodwin was the youngest wife of Bill Paxton in the show Big Love, which is about a Mormon polygamist. So good show on HBO. Marcus Dresden, blah, Thompson, yeah. Oh, Jack Burns is in jail, announces chess match with a pigeon. I'm just kind of curious. Like I said, I'm curious. Maybe I'm a masochist. I don't know, but I'm very curious. I really am. Robert Kess says, did you see his debate on MDD? I didn't. Oh, I caught moments of it, but I followed. I was listening to the after show with MC Toon. So the MDD after show, that was a good one. Nathan does not he demonstrated really badly. He quadrupled down on the fact that all measurements have a margin of error. So he doesn't believe that. He was what? Measurements don't have error. And well, he doubled down that they don't have a margin of error. And that was just ridiculous, so which is funny as hell. So yeah, he doesn't understand science at all. But I want to know, his understanding of the Bible. I want to see how far he goes, which probably won't be very far at all. It'll probably be diving headfirst into the shallow end. Skeptic Dank says JL versus Nathan Thompson would be Mike Tyson versus Swarm of the Locusts. You're probably right. Probably right. That was a good compliment I got one time when someone said that I came into the conversation like the final boss of the level, which was fun. That was a good one. But yeah, I'm just curious. I'm curious as to what he says. It's what will he say? Will it turn into a dumpster fire? Most likely. Could we have it? We're talking about a guy who sent me D pics, who made homophobic remarks at me and then sent me a D pic. So I don't know. The guy is unpredictable. He's like a rabid dog. You never know what he's going to do. So I don't know. I'm curious, to say the least. Redding says Nathan Thompson fell in a trap where he said the sun is 93 million miles away. Yeah, correct. So how is there light and dark on the flat Earth at all times? Good point. Yeah. Ugly German Jew says, I must have been subbed to Aaron Ra for 5 years now. Watch every video he uploads and most of his streams. He's a good dude. Smart guy. Really is. Skeptic Dank says, I'll volunteer as tribute if Thompson wants to make a 2v2. That sounds good, Skeptic Dank, and we should make that happen. A 2v2 would be good. That way we can trade off. That way it's not just me. I was like, blah, 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 blah. You can jump in there as well and hammer his opponent, his friend. Maybe it'll be, who knows who it'll be. He didn't have many friends left. He doesn't. So I don't know who would join him. Yes, Nathan on MC2 was insane. That was absolutely insane. It was nuts. I mean, he was unhinged. So I don't know if he was drunk. I don't know if he was high. But he was out of it. I mean, like really, really out of it. Oh, dude, Skeptic Dank, thank you so much. New member of the Godless Army, Skeptic Dank. You now have access. You now have your membership badge, the Atheist Scientist badge, and you have access to all of the very cool emojis that I have made for you. So cool stuff like Flying Spaghetti Monster, Crying Otangelo, Darth Dawkins with red duct tape on his mouth as he likes to do it, and of course a number of others, Donut Earth. And so all kinds of cool stuff. Yep, there you go. Thank you so much, Commander Darklight. Appreciate it. But yes, thank you so much, Skeptic Dank. Welcome to the Godless Army. Because that'll tickle all the Christians out there. All a bunch of Satanists, all a bunch of heathen Satanists. Bob Nodell's Gyroscope says, Nathan Thompson is a dumpster fire, even in his sleep, no doubt. Damn straight, he is, even in his sleep. Thank you so much, Skeptic Dank. You rule. Oh, Commander Darklight, there they go. Yep, there's all those fun emojis. I love those emojis. I'm happy with them. And as soon as we get we can unlock the next segment where we will have more emojis. I have more emojis coming. For some reason, I like making them. It's fucking weird. I just go like, I really like making emojis. I really like searching for life forms. Dun, dun, dun. Robert Castle says, if he is stupid enough to be punked for 2+ days by Reckless Ben, he knows fuck all about the Bible. Goddamn. Yep. Goddamn right. He probably does. He probably does know shit. He's memorized a few scripture lines, thinking that they're like, pwn you with this is what love is, and but I doubt he knows it I doubt he's really dived into it. I doubt he's engaged with like various contradictions, like the contradictions in the time of Jesus's birth in the Gospels, or I think there was one. It was Ephesians. There's one, and I think it's in Ephesians, which essentially says that no one can know anything. No one can know any of the stuff. That no one can know what is absolutely the truth. So you have to take it on faith. It's like you can't, like, none of this is verifiable, which is pretty much just debunks the whole thing. If I remember correctly, I'd have to actually look it up to actually get the actual quote. But yeah, I doubt he understands any of this shit. He cherry picks. He grabs what he wants, and he just throws out the rest. It's fucking Chinese buffet religion and science. It's buffet religion and science. Take what looks good and move about your business. Hey, President Starscream is in the house. Starscream, you have failed me for the last time. He says, greetings, fleshlings. Good to see you, President Starscream. And I heard Flatter-Day, Jarl says, I heard Flatter-Day Saints might be open to debate anything. I've never debated Flat Earth. I've never actually debated Flat Earth, which is interesting. Maybe it's not interesting. I've always been more interested in, what the people, like irrational beliefs leading to irrational behaviors, especially the most irrational belief is that, that of sky daddies and stuff. So, what religion drives people to do. I've always been more interested in that. I really have been, but you never know. I mean, maybe I'll debate Flat Earth one day. It seems pretty silly. I'm kind of like in Simon Dan's wheel in, or kind of in Simon Dan's position of that why would I debate demonstrable fact? It's kind of silly. So Skip Tank says dope. Yeah, I don't know. Awesome Redding says you think very well on your feet. Nathan Thompson will try to DD you into emotive arguments, and then he will try to make that the issue. Oh yeah, absolutely. And I plan on approaching it just like I did the debate that I had with Red Vlad. Just whenever he starts freaking out, pull back, get quieter. That's one of the big tactics. When they start getting louder, you get quieter, because then the intent, if they hear you say something, they'll be quiet so they can hear what you're saying. And that's just that tactic there. So I want to come in cool and collected, like I did against Red Vlad, like I did against Otangelo, and just be like, and thank you to Johnny O and a number of other people who have for their invaluable feedback in helping me be a better debater and a better interlocutor. So I look forward, I look forward to doing that. And because, just like you say, just feed him the rope, feed him all the rope he needs to hang himself with. So I appreciate that, Redding. I really do. Robert Castos, he would say the electric wake is an exodus. He probably would. And the George said is in the house. Good to see you. And the George says, flat earth is no fun. It just leads to, no, you're wrong. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, very much. Redding says, too often religiosity leaves room for only ignorance. Yeah, appeals to emotion or, what you don't understand about science. Most of the damn stages I do on Discord with Andricus and Jack Burton and King Xerxes, most of the stages that we do turn into science lessons. Like what, I don't understand cosmology. I don't understand abiogenesis. I don't understand evolution. Evolution disproves God. It doesn't disprove God. These fundamental misunderstandings of the things we know and understand about the world. Old arguments, ancient thinking about the Thomas Aquinas, thinking about the Darwinism, these ideas that we've since built upon, and ignoring the 100+ or maybe even 1,000+ years of education and understanding that it's taken, of physics, engineering, all of these to lead up to what we know today. But no, they want to ignore all that. Bob Nodell says, JL, if you debate Ducky, I wonder, will he do an Otangelo on it? Or is he too dumb for that? Probably too dumb. Robert has, does Ken Ham or any big name creationist debate? Yeah, I think the last Ken Ham debate I saw was when he went up against Bill Nye the Science Guy, and he got wrecked. So, I mean, Bill Nye is not a confrontational interlocutor, but he brought evidence. He brought science. He brought what science has explained, what that methodology has explained to us today. That's what he's brought. And Ken Ham brought nothing but the Bible and appeals to emotion and incredulity. He just can't see it any other way. So that was on Ken Ham. Redding is right. Yeah, no one has summoned the Otangelo yet. Not yet. Omni Boros is in the house. Good to see you, Omni. Says, what's new, JL? Hey, just hanging out Saturday with some of the amazing people in the live chat. You guys fucking rule. Every single one of you is amazing. I can't believe that I'm actually doing this. I'm doing this, and this is kind of like my living now, which is amazing. I couldn't have done this without all of you. I'm still kind of blown away. I'm not like, I'm not past the point where I'm kind of like, yeah, now I will look at it as a job. Like, this is fun. This is so much fun. What doesn't matter how many subscribers I'm at. The fact that you subscribe to me is fucking amazing, but it's kind of like, this is amazing. The fact that I get to do this and have the freedom to do this. I wouldn't be able to do this without your support. So fuck, I'm still kind of in that kind of like honeymoon period. I'm like, I feel so good about this. It's awesome. Redding says, no one has summoned the Otangelo yet, which then Clive Wells said, Otangelo. It says, oops, sorry. Turing Test 2 says, I'll believe in God when both his parents vouch for him. Do you have your credentials, please? Yeah, Clive Wells testing it. He's throwing it out there. Let me see. Robert Kaiser says there's a bald fundy that has been covered by Vice Rhino. Can't remember his name. He could be debated. Interesting. Yeah, and as much as I love to do debates, and I also like to bring them on, just like I did with Diesel. Bring them on the channel, chat with them about their beliefs, why they believe the things they believe. Where it's not a debate. They're not being put under pressure. They don't have to have anything prepared. They can just kind of go off the cuff and just speak from their heart and just what they understand about science. And I'm not here trying to like hammer them. I just want to investigate and ask them questions. Be like, well, what about did you consider this? Did you consider that? How did you arrive at this conclusion? So on and so forth. And that's what makes it fun. It was like that. So I'm not trying to put them off. I'm not trying to embarrass them or try to be like, we atheists got one over on you. Redding says, I kind of want to add graffiti to Otangelo's shroud. It's already got the graffiti on it. It looks like Christ. 12th century or 13th century art installation. I like that too. I think I have this 12th century art installation is what the Shroud of Turin is. Jesus Christ was the David Koresh of Bronze Age Palestine. I come up with all these things that seem to trigger some of the more hardcore theists. Let's see, President Starscreams. I loved how Bill Nye explained how real science can make predictions. The best religion can do is make self-fulfilling prophecies. Agreed. It's kind of hard to tell if it's an actual prophecy, if it's it takes like 100 years for it to come true, and then everybody who believes it was working towards it coming true. Does it become prophecy then? Like, for example, if I say I prophesize tomorrow I'm going to go eat steak, and then I'm going to eat a steak tomorrow, and then I make a reservation at a steakhouse, and then I show up at the reservation, then I order a steak. Is that prophecy coming true? No. I've literally just said, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, and this is what it is. So given that it's ancient stuff, it's an ancient book with no verification, This pretty well. How do we eliminate the possibility that's what they're doing? You know. Bob Nadell JavaScript says, "You're the amazing one." Aw, you do all the work. We just show up. Oh, thank you, Bob. I appreciate that. That's amazing. Oh, that makes me feel warm and tingly. Oh, thank you so much. Redding says, Ken Ham asked Bill Nye to be his friend. Bill says, not in the conventional sense, but being respectful is important. Agreed. Being respectful is important. Omni Oris Boris says, I'm going to wear the Don't Kink Shame Cannibal shirt to a Catholic Harvest Festival on Halloween. Yeah. A Catholic Harvest Festival. That just appropriation, man. Appropriation. It's like one of those, like, have you guys ever seen those Christian haunted houses where it's like, I've seen these things before. If you have not seen the Christian haunted house, then this shit is wild, because it essentially is a haunted house that takes you through the darkest parts of the Bible. Like hellfire and damnation, and that's the scary stuff. And then it ends on the positive message that through Christ you will achieve eternal life and salvation, as though that we can be saved from the way that God made us. It's freaking ridiculous. But yeah, Christian haunted houses are fucking hilarious. It's so indoctrinated. It's gross. Robert Caslow, wasn't Koresh on fire for Jesus? I get you. That's funny. It's funny because he burned up. It's so dark. Must be the DC universe. Oh, look at that. There he is. Tangel says, atheism is the irrational belief without evidence that we can exist without a creator. No, it's not, sir. That is a total misrepresentation of what atheism is. Total misrepresentation. So no, you are wrong on that one. Well, there is evidence for strong atheism. That's the problem. Is that the most important bit of evidence is that the universe that we observe is not what we expect if there were to be a creator with the attributes you give to it. So if the creator that you assert has those attributes, then we would expect to see, as kind of like a predictive function, we would expect to see a universe that comports with that. We don't see a universe that comports with that, so that's why we reject it. Because you say God is the cause, the universe is the effect. Well, the effect doesn't match the cause. That'd be like if you dropped a ball into a lake and there were triangle ripples that went out from it. If you dropped a sphere into a lake and then triangle ripples came out, that doesn't follow. So that's like saying God exists in this state, and then this is the universe we get. It's like triangle ripples off of a sphere ball. No, in the water. That makes no sense. It doesn't follow, which is why we reject that. So either God is misdefined because God lied about himself in the Bible when he was divinely inspiring the words about him and describing himself in the Bible, or it doesn't exist. It's one or the other. It is irrational to believe matter complexly arranged three-dimensionally in space produces intelligence or memory. No, that's not. Intelligence and memory, these are aspects of the brain. They are when you destroy a brain, they go away with the brain. And all animals have to varying degrees of intelligence and memory, no matter how rudimentary it is. They are sentient animals. They are sentient beings because they can interact with their world and they can react to external stimuli. So that makes them sentient. But sapiens, there's many sapient species on this planet, not just human beings. Cetaceans, octopi, elephants. There's many species that are sapient to a degree. And then he says the origin of the universe, the origin of life, the origin of consciousness are three powerful reasons why theism is true. No, it's not. Origin of the universe, we don't know. But we have some good ideas, but we don't know absolutely. We don't know exactly what it was. The origin of life, that's abiogenesis, easily explained, currently being demonstrated at McMaster University in the Planet Simulator. We'll get that answer here soon enough. And the origin of consciousness is part of the brain. If you want to call it emergent property, you can. I kind of think I'm falling into the school of thought that the brain and consciousness, that the consciousness is just an aspect of the brain, of a functioning brain. So like a functioning heart has a heartbeat. A functioning stomach has digestion. A functioning brain, our human brain, has consciousness or awareness or a mind. Just like a functioning monkey brain has consciousness, sapient or sentience, sapience to a degree. Same thing with us. It's just what it is. And that's what the evidence posits that out. You're asserting things that go beyond the evidence, Otangelo. You have no evidence to support these. It's an argument from incredulity because this all comes not from a presupposition about God. Well, maybe I think you do presuppose God, but this really comes from you can't believe that human beings are just here. You think human beings have some sort of like divine purpose. Like we were put here for a reason. And there's no evidence of that. The evidence posits out that we are a result of natural process. And that in the future, 1,000 years, if human beings are still around, 1,000 years, 2,000 years, 100,000 years, we will not look like this anymore because evolution continues. Especially if we become a spacefaring race, a spacefaring species, space itself, lack of gravity, all of these are evolutionary pressures. So 1,000,000 years in the future, if what was Homo sapiens is still around, which I doubt, but even if we are, we will look radically different, especially if we start depositing humans on various planets. And then we wind up with just, other varieties of humans again because of different evolutionary pressures. This is the way it's going to be. All right. Omni Oros Boros says, Christian haunted houses are terrible, like aborted fetuses. Oh, yeah, they're gross. They're funny in some places and just disgusting in others. Yeah, it's just appropriation, using the Halloween season to try and try to sell their bullshit message. And Clive Wells says, I'm really sorry for summoning him. You're forgiven. I forgive you. You know why? Because I want to forgive you, not because some Sky Daddy told me to do so. Because, that's what we do. Bob Nadell Gyroscope says, JL, I've heard so many Jesus freaks saying Jesus is returning. I say, no, he's not. He was nailed to a cross, not a fucking boomerang. That's funny. I may be able to make an emoji out of that. That'll be great. Reddick says, zap, smoke bomb clears, and Otangelo appears. Yes, it does. Otangelo did show up. Maximal's personal profile. What was that laugh? Sorry about that. It was just funny. Yeah, what he said was funny. And John Rev says, I'm going to win the lottery. Fingers crossed. I hope you do. Yep, Turing test say his name 3 times and he appears. Yep. Scuba Cat says, isn't all Christian stuff some appropriation? It is. It really is. I mean, the Roman Empire appropriated it so that they could spread their message because, it was a better message than, the unfeeling, uncaring gods that they appropriated from the Greeks. Jupiter and Pluto and all those, and, all those are all, Greek appropriations of Roman appropriations of what the Greeks believed. That's why they identify with it, Zeus, Jupiter, so on and so forth. And the Romans just appropriated what worked because they had such a giant empire. They had to go with kind of like what was popular. Christianity was rising popularity. It seemed to, kind of like sit more. It was more palatable with the people than a bunch of gods that just don't care about you. That just, like they're just up there in the sky, just kind of looking down and don't give a shit. This God does give a shit. What better way than to kind of like push that narrative? Yeah, it's as much political as it was, as it was a matter of controlling people. Robert Kaz says, DA, what denomination is the correct one? Yeah, that's a good question. Otangelo, what denomination is the correct one? And how do you know that? That'd be very good. President Starscream says, Christian X doesn't improve Christianity, it just ruins X. Hank Hill, paraphrased. Yes, Lawler's Corner. Dar, what evidence is that there's a God? Yep, it's pretty much argument from incredulity, argument from ignorance, or an appeal to emotion. They believe in it because they want to believe in it. So, Skeptic Dang says, I've been to a Christian haunted house. Went through a story of some people who died in a car wreck and went to the afterlife, had a room with screaming people and a dude dressed like a demon. That would be their depiction of hell. Creepy stuff. Gross, funny, just, whatever. John Rapp says, good day, are you both well? Yes. Donnie Does That says, hey, everybody, good to see you. Donnie Does That. Thank you. I think this is Donnie's first time in the live chat. So, my show. Thank you so much, Donnie. Appreciate you stopping by. And Darker says, atheists have no legitimate explanation for the origin of anything. Yes, we do, as a matter of fact. The universe is the ontology of everything. If there was no universe, nothing would exist. The universe exists, and there are things within the universe. So the universe is the ontology of everything. What you're asking is, what is the ontology of the universe in and of itself? And we don't know yet. Reddick says, Otangelo in here like a DC movie that is so bad that it is funny, but you wanted something different. Very true. Very true. It says Robert Castle says, "What self-sustainable chemical reactions what self-sustainable chemical reaction walk around? What the fuck?" And Darkberry says, "Atheism does not give you the answers; just makes you stop thinking." That is projection. You are incorrect, though, Tangelo. Atheism demands that we keep asking questions because we're looking for the answers. When we say we don't know, that means we need to work to find the answer for what we don't know. God caps inquiry because you could just say God did it, and that's it. No need to ask for the questions. It was God. God magicked it out of the ether or whatever. So that's your deal. Don't project it onto us. Don't project your bullshit onto atheism just to try and drag us down with you. So no, we're the intellectually honest ones. You're not. Maxwell's personal profile says the idea of an intelligent agent behind everything fundamentally originates from hyperactive agent detection and intrinsic human bias to anthropomorphize objects and ideas. Excellent point. Take that one on, Otangelo. Oh, make sure I don't fall too far behind. Otangelo says the answer just cannot ever be God, right? No, it could be God. But even that, if it is God, leads to more questions. Is God limited in power? Why did God do a thing? How did God do a thing? What's the mechanism that God utilized? God did it is not an answer. That doesn't get us anywhere. That doesn't explain anything. There is no explanatory power to God. God did it does not do anything. That's just a stopgap. It's just like, boom, nope, no more inquiry, and you're done. It just caps inquiry. It's all it does. So no, even if there was a God, even if we proved there was one, then it becomes more questions. It's like, okay, where did the God come from? Has the God always been there? How powerful is the God? Is there something that caps its ability? Are there limitations of what it can do? Is it out? What did it instantiate? How did it do things? If there was nothing, then there was something, and God was the divider like that. What did it create things out of? Did it create out of itself? Did it create out of other things? Where does all this come from? God, finding out God is the answer just leads to more inquiry. That's the whole point. But for you, it caps inquiry. It stops it. You just stop at God. And that's intellectually dishonest. That is not science. Oh, look who's in the house. I think I saw him. PhD Tony says, hello, everyone. Good to see you, PhD Tony. I hope you are feeling better, good sir, because I know you were feeling pretty bad. You had a relapse there. So I hope that you are feeling much, much better. Thank you for popping in. It's good to see you. Omni Orosbar says, are you going pink or not? This is the thing. I haven't decided yet. I'm undecided if I'm going to dye the beard pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Now, I could do that's the whole point. I've went through this before. It's because of the community that I currently live in. It could cause, when I go out in the world, it could cause more issues than I really, really want. But I'm not afraid to do it because I will do it. The caveat was, if you want to force my hand, then I want to get Week in Horror, our podcast, Week in Horror, up to 1,000 subs. And we are close on that. So I will once again put that link in the chat. If Week in Horror, our podcast, mine, Johnny O, Eugene, and Alex, if we can get that podcast to 1,000 subs, this bad boy, and there's days to do it. It's only the 25th, and we got 30 days, so we got 5 days to do it. If we can get to 1,000 subs, this is going pink for the whole of November. Done. No questions asked. No limitations. You don't have to keep putting in $10 a day to keep this beard pink. You get us to 1,000 subs, this thing's going pink for all of October. My wife's going to dye it. She'll bleach it out, and then she'll dye it pink. It'll be pink throughout all of my creative content, all of my shorts, and all of Week in Horror, and, of course, all of these live streams. So if you want to see that, all you have to do is pop with it. If you want to force my hand before I've officially decided, if you want to force my hand, if you want to force me to say yes, I have to do it, I will do it if Week in Horror hits 1,000 subs. Oh, Daryl M says, I'm not God. I'm not a big enough asshole. Yeah, it's when it comes down to it, even if we were God, it seems to be a lot of better ways God could do shit, to be personally honest. And if there are better ways to do it, if there's ways to teach lessons without pain, suffering, and death and fear, you think an omnibenevolent God who is also omniscient would know how to do that. And if he's omnipotent, he'd be able to do it. So there you go. So, yeah, that's part of the argument that I have. Skeptic, thanks. PhD Tony, B.O.B. says the earth is flat. Checkmate, Mr. 8+ years of schooling plus decades in the field. Yeah. What is it? foiled by a rapper who doesn't have much of a career anymore. Who else we got here? Marcus Dresden. Yeah, you're right. He's wrong. He's absolutely wrong. Look at that. There's Otangelo calling out PhD Tony. Says, see my debate about Noah's flood at Godless Grange. You got owned over there too. You got bounced over there. It was hilarious. UKPA says, if there's a God, I'm going to punch him out for being such a dick. Yeah. Some would say, that. And there's like, you don't have to worry about it because it's not there. It's, I would say the Christian God, I will unequivocally say does not exist. Unequivocally, because it is defined in such a way that is logically contradictory and logical contradictions cannot exist. That is what I'll say. Now, a deity, a sufficiently powerful deity, I can't say that doesn't exist. I don't know. I'm agnostic to that because it could have. It could have kicked the football in the universe and then fucked off with no evidence of its existence left behind. That's possible. I can't refute that at all. That's a hypothesis, and that's pretty much it. We can reason ourselves to that, but the Christian God, no, it's divine. It's defined to the point that it literally defined itself out of existence. Clive Wells says the Hartle-Hawking is no boundary proposal. The Hartle-Hawking no boundary proposal is a self-consistent quantum mechanical treatment explaining the creation of the universe without a creator. Hartle-Hawking. Thank you, Clive Wells. New information for Otangelo. Bring it on, Otangelo. PhD. You got 2 PhDs in the live chat right now. You got a geophysicist and a theoretical physicist. Let's see you throw your shit down with them. I'm very curious. The guys who work in this field, okay, who I have a tremendous level of respect for because of the vastness of their knowledge and how much they love this subject. Physics, theoretical physics, quantum mechanics, cosmology. These guys know their shit. So, yeah, feel free to throw down with them. Omnivorous Sports. I thought God was omnivorous. It's true. He eats carnivores and vegans alike. So he does. Let's see. Oh, Renee name. Oh, Renee, good to see you. Thank you. I think I may have missed you earlier, but good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate that. Peach Tony says, Skeptic Tank, I feel like that was some sort of elaborate mockery. Probably was. Maximal's personal profile. Geez, do I love when people mistake math for some essence of reality, but seriously, people, math is a language made to be precise and efficient, not some magical and ontological base of reality. Agreed. I'd have to agree. Well stated. Very well stated, sir. Very good. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. That's one of the statements. Because atheists exist, God exists. No. Atheists exist as a response to the theological claim. If theists never made the claim, there wouldn't be atheists. So, no. Atheists exist because you exist. Not because God exists, but because you're running around screaming that there is a God. Chicken Little has to claim the sky is falling before we can reject that the sky is falling. And Surf is right. He pretty much got destroyed by Granny. Yeah, I would. Yeah, that was just dumb going on there. That was dumb. Otangelo, was there a literal Noah's Ark? He thinks there was. He thinks that rock formation that was found in Turkey is actually Noah's Ark, even though satellite imagery, when satellite imagery zooms in on it, you can tell it's obviously a rock formation. Then people have walked up to it and been like, "This is a rock formation that looks kind of boat-like." Honestly, I think it looks more like a speedboat than it would an ark. But yeah, that's the ridiculousness of it. Let me see. What's he saying? God's eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen being. Yep, there's his watchmaker analogy. And yes, when you claim a thing exists, you have to demonstrate that it exists. Otherwise, there's no reason for us to accept your claim. That's the burden of proof. The burden of proof is you make the claim the thing exists. So you need to back that up. You can't back it up. We don't claim it. And guess what, Otangelo? Here's something that you don't seem to get. So your position is P. Our position is not P. P, God exists, not P, not exists. Okay, so that God, or however, in that respect. So we take the not P position. We reject your claim. Your claim is that God exists. We reject that. We take the not God position. Now we can back up our not God position with, there's lack of evidence, there's bad argument, there's no argument that leads to it, it has no explanatory power. We can back this up. Our position of not P, of not God, is justified. Okay? The problem is you have the burden of proof by saying God exists. So your position is not justified. Our position is. But you seem to think that our rejection of the P position commits us to supplying you an alternative value for P, which it does not. Just because we take the not P position doesn't mean that we have to have an alternate explanation. Doesn't mean that we have to give you an alternate P value. It could just be we don't know. But we're not going to side with you because you have no evidence, no argumentation, no predictive power, no explanatory power. You have nothing. So no, it's a rejection of your position based on no argumentation, no evidence. And then we don't have to supply you with an alternate P. We'll supply you with an alternate P when we have evidence to support an alternate P value. But until then, we can say we don't know. So done. Your argument is invalidated. Sorry to see that. PG Tony says, nope, again, I don't care about belief systems that are disconnected from the evidence. Bingo. Ding, 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 ding. I need a dinger. Do I need a dinger? I need a dinger, don't I? Ding. Well, it's really Team Skeptics thing. I don't want to appropriate Team Skeptics thing. That's kind of his claim. You know, like Irish wears hats. Johnny O has finger guns. I say be safe, be excellent to each other. We'll see you next time. That's kind of like my little sign-off thing. But I don't think I'll appropriate a dinger. You know, I don't think I need to. So maybe, I don't know. If Team Skeptic signs off on me getting a dinger, if people are like, you can use the dinger, I'll say, cool, I'll use the dinger. I just don't want to like just jump out and be like, aha, I got it. You know, I can use it too. John Rapsey, surely our created God needs an upgrade, at least God 2.0. Or God point 2. Tim Boldman says God is timeless, spaceless, odorless, tasteless, much like carbon monoxide. Toxic while you're sleeping. Yes, it definitely displaces the oxygen in the room. I can't. I'm confused. Ready. It says, Darkman says, yes, and it has been found. It's on Mount Ararat. No, it is not. It's not. That's a lie. Otangelo's caught in a lie again. And we can actually, you know what? He does this a lot. He does this a whole bunch. Let me see. So they thought that it was, so he's basically, there was an article in 2010 that talked about Noah's Ark being found. That was debunked. That was in April. That was back in April of 2010. And this one comes with nope, this was debunked in 2019. Let me see here real quick. Yep, that was debunked as the rock formation because they were going to do 3D scans of the area, and it turns out that geologists also figured out that what caused the edges of what looked to be the boat to be actually just erosion because there are erosion markers to it, and you can tell it. And scanning of it revealed that it was just rock. It was just a rock formation, and this is the image that he's talking about. I think I can show this. And let me just do this, and then we'll go ahead and give me 2 seconds. I actually want to, because for people who haven't seen it, so all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop this open, and I will show it. I will share this so people can see it. And let's go here, share screen. Take me just a moment. Here we go. So this is what Otangelo is talking about. This is what he's looking at. So in essence, you can see he's talking about, and I'll zoom in on it. This is what he thinks the arc is. And you can see the ridge here. And I love this image because you can actually see the effects of the tectonic plates. You can see these minute effects. This is a massive area that's been photographed. And see this range all along here. You don't even know if you can see my mouse. But this range over here to the right, this big, long range here. And then, of course, these splits over here. You can actually see where the land is pushing together. And this thing right here is a plateau naturally formed because you see that dip. That's where this is pushed up and this ridge is pushed up because these plates are pushing together. And that has caused this ridge to form here because it is absolutely sloped over here on this side. But that's the peak of the ridge. This slopes down here, slopes all throughout here. This has been pushed up here. This is a formation of geology. This is a formation from plate tectonics. This is what it is. And they did 3D scans of this and found it is nothing but rock. No, just rock in there. That's all that is. So sorry to tell you, Otangelo, rocks on a mountain. That's what it is. Rocks on a mountain. No sharks by that rock arc. Yep. President Starscream looks like a giant ravioli. And yes, Dart, yes, Otangelo, you're talking about that particular one because that's the one that came out in 2019. That's the arc you're talking about. So no, there's been no arc found. That is all a lie. It's all BS. Once science jumps onto it, they debunk it. They'll do scans. They'll do spectroscopy, and it's rock. That's what it is. It's just rock formations that look like that. It's literally pareidolia. Pareidolia and apophenia. That's what it is. And no, that's I'm not lying, Otangelo, because you've cited those pictures before. So sorry, dude. Yeah, you've cited these pictures before. These are the pictures that you have cited. That's the picture you've brought up before. As a matter of fact, we can do this. Images. Nose are found. So all of these are these. So guess what? Here's another good one. So yeah, these are all the same place. These are all the same areas. This just from different, just from different perspectives. Here we go. So heck, if we have to share it again. So let me see. Share screen. Let me see if that's sharing correctly. So yeah. So you're basically looking at this. These are all these are all the same from different angles. That's essentially it. These are all just different angles of the same structure. See? Same thing. See? There's one thing where they thought like these are the rib timbers. Those are erosion formation. Those are created by erosion. Geologists confirm that. They say that the rib timbers are over here. This is the front of it, the front of it. This is the rear of it. And no, it's not the exact biblical length. It's not. It doesn't match out. So no, none of these pictures here, this one, where it said they have it rounded, this is not it. Okay, this is a mountain range. Okay, no. This does not look like that. Okay. So no, Noah's Ark has not been found. You are full of, this is literally just mountain. It's a rock formation. Okay, no different than the ones that we have here in America. There's a really, really good shot. You can see it's just a formation from the range itself. So no, it's not there. It's literally pareidolia. See, look at this. You could say this is boat looking over here on the left. So no, dude, you can see the geological, how the rocks have moved to create this appearance. So no, dude, you're wrong. You're dang wrong. That's pretty much it. Sorry to tell you, but we went through the pictures. I may have been difficult to see the pictures, but yeah, there's all varying pictures of the same area. So no. Oh, wow. Freaking out. Okay, Otangelo, if you can't keep your cool, my mods will handle you. Okay? My mods will handle you. You're just spamming now, dude. Okay, if he keeps doing that, shut him down. If he gets out of control like that, yeah, then if he's spamming, shut that shit down. Because if you do, Otangelo, I don't even know if you're still here. Otangelo, if you can't keep your cool, then you need to fuck right off. Maintain civility. Do not spam in my live stream just because you're pissed off. And no, I just showed all those pictures. And those range from like 2010 all the way up to present day. Guess what, son? No, your ark has not been found. You are full of shit. Oh, look at that. Someone else is spamming as well. Yeah, let's shut that one down too. Marcus Dredd says, I need a wrench too, Jail Ward. I'm trustworthy 100%. Not sure if trustworthy. No, I trust you, Marcus. Let's actually jump over here. I'm actually going to jump to the studio. So I can actually interact with everybody. Let me see here. Okay, let me just turn this down. So let me see. So I've got this. I'm actually looking at the live chat as we speak. No, I actually need to change over here. Let's change to this one. Now he's blowing me up on Discord. So he's blowing me up on Discord now. He's like, nah. Okay, let me take a look at this. Flood, evidence of Noah's flood. But that's not the ark. Now you're talking about evidence for the flood. And let me see this. Hang on a second. I gotta check this out. So he sent me a link. Evidence of Noah's flood. This is no. Absolutely not. Okay, no, absolutely not. Reason inside this is okay. This is from his thing. And nope, I've seen these videos. Nope. And this is all wrong. So no, there is no evidence here. There is no evidence here of this at all. None of this is evidence of any kind of ark. Okay? None of it is evidence for any kind of ark. No, you are wrong. You are flatly wrong. And let's see here. Let's do this. Yes, Bob Nodell. And because Bob Nodell is awesome. And let me see here. And where was he at? Yeah, fact checking. Pretty important during the whole process. And I think, who was it? Dang, he got himself shut down. He flipped out. Big time. He flipped out hardcore. Wow. Yeah, he totally lost his shit. That's hilarious. Oh, there he is. There we go. Sure, why not? I'll give you a shot. All right, that's just, this is goofy as hell. I mean, he lost it so hardcore. All right, so yeah, Joe, you asked, so yes. Like I said, we're trying to be as, conservative as I can with just throwing, I don't want just like a whole room full of wrenches just doesn't really make much sense. But Bob Nodell's gyroscope, I threw you a wrench, and Marcus Dresden threw you a wrench as well. So enjoy. And use the power wisely. You have the power. Boomerstein is in the house. Ooh, I got the hiccups. Boomerstein is in the house. And says, Otangelo is a man-child half the time. Absolutely, he is. Oh, yeah, apparently, Maximal, yes. Apparently, we pinched a nerve. He freaked out. H. Jaspery. Hey, what's up, Chief? Good to see you. And Blofeld 20K. Good to see you. Daryl M says, no wrench? Oh, everybody wants a wrench. Let me see here. Pop over here. Daryl M. Daryl M is an amazing dude. Daryl M is cool as hell. All right, that's 3 wrenches I've given out tonight. So if I decide to give any more, I will hand them out. But I love you guys. You guys are amazing. So President Starscream says, I'm being muted, then forces mods to mute him. Self-fulfilling prophecy. I love a good callback. Flashback humor. I love it. Yeah, flashback humor, Starscream. I love it. Absolutely. Redding says, hey, Otangelo, don't make it bad. Take a sad arc in Discord about it. Remember, Darth Dawkins is again your friend. So yes, Maximal, how many blatant lies and unsupported assertions can a creationist mention in the live stream? Seriously, I don't know. I've lost count. I've lost count as well, especially since he freaked out. He's still blowing me up on Discord. He says, I don't swallow deliberate lying about what I claim. Otangelo, you're full of shit, and you are lying. All of those pictures I shared were from different things, going all the way back to 2010. No one has found the ark. You are full of shit. And going on and the Cats board thing, your little private little blog where you're talking, Otangelo's little world, where you collate all of this creationist bullshit about the world. Those videos, I've seen them. I've also seen them debunked. So no, dude, you're done. There's no evidence. Sorry. It's all bullshit. And you're not going to sell it here. And just because you can't deal with it, you're not going to spurg out in my chat because my mods will shut you down. Done deal. Oh, thank you, Bob Nodell. Says, thanks, my friend. I'll buy you a beer when you come to Ireland. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that very, very much. Awesome. Yep, issue Marcus Resident. You're very welcome, Marcus. Because you've been one of the biggest supporters, ever since the beginning. So I really appreciate it. UKPI says, JL, gotta go now. It was so funny watching that guy lose it. Take care. Take care, UKPI. It's a pleasure having you here. Absolutely. And I think he's gone. I think Otangelo has left. So that was fast. We got him out of here quick. He ran off because he couldn't deal with it. Robert Casler's Aaron Ra did a great set of videos on the fiction of the flood. He did. It's absolutely just ridiculous. Cindy Johnson says, I don't want to wrench. I can't read and mod a chat. Can't be feel I miss half the fun of the stream. Yep. Sometimes you don't want to be a mod because it allows you to focus. You don't have to focus on what everybody's saying. You can focus on what's going on. So I totally get that. Absolutely. So yeah, wild. So yeah, I guess Otangelo freaked out, sprinted into rage spamming. Oh yeah. Absolutely. And of course, Boomer says, if I'm not allowed to lie, you aren't being inclusive enough. It's full of crap. So that's it. Otangelo we had the little Otangelo, freak out. It wouldn't be a live stream on Saturday without him freaking out. Aaron Massa is in the chat. Good to see you, Aaron Massa. Says, Robert Caswell, I've been enjoying Aaron's currently running series, dropping tactical nukes on inmate number 06452-017's alleged lies in the textbooks. That seminar of cunts was 30 years out of date 16 years ago. Very true. And well stated. Absolutely. Yes. His lies in the textbook has been, Aaron's work is fantastic. The series he's working on is just sheer brilliance. If you haven't checked it out, go check that one out. And, Renee, you're right. Being a mod at times is not easy work. It is not. Redding says, did we clock him? He was longer last week. Yeah, he was longer last week. I think we were kind of like, we're weaning ourselves off the Otangelo. Eventually, he won't just show up anymore. And he says he won't swallow deliberate lying about a claim. Well, not lying. I mean, it's not a lie. I mean, Otangelo, you fucked up. You keep citing shit that refutes yourself, and you keep adjusting and you're moving your position and trying to move the goalposts and shit. So sorry, Otangelo, you're full of crap. Bye. You left. You can go bother somebody else now. Yes, you're right. Bob Nodell's Jarsko. Yeah, you keep forgetting. We don't need to bring facts to the table here. Agreed. That was when he lost that debate. City Justice beading in this case is making a 6 in diameter ball with tiny beads. Something called bead weaving. Very cool. Bead weaving. That's nice. Awesome. All right. So let me see here. Dang. So now that we are past that bullshit, we are beyond that. And thank you to the new members. So I appreciate it. Remember, memberships are available here. I've made them as cheap as possible because I am a cheap whore. So 99 cents a month for memberships to this channel. You get access to all of the crying Otangelo emojis, all the cool emojis that you saw, and of course your atheist scientist badge as a member of the Godless Army. So I appreciate it. Thank you to the new members that we've gotten. I appreciate that. John Rabs and Otangelo says, tell us where reality touched you. Oh, it hasn't? That figures. Yeah, pretty bad. So now that we're beyond that, now that we're beyond the Otangelo nonsense, we've gotten through that crap. Next thing we need is Darth Dawkins showing up in my chat. I'll probably just like some of the devil. Atheist Mando is in the house. Hey. Oh, you just missed Otangelo. You just missed Otangelo telling us all about, how God is, the absolute truth with no evidence. You just missed it. And then he freaked out when he started talking about how Noah's Ark is real. And then we just tore that one down. And then Otangelo freaked out, started mass spamming the channel and trying to do whatever. And then all of a sudden, it started getting porn spams as well, which I'm pretty sure was him because he got blocked and they started porn spamming us. And then he got blocked again. So yeah, that would be Otangelo. So you missed Otangelo. Robert Caslow, Dawkins. Oh no, he's trying to summon Darth Dawkins in the chat. Oh, so crazy. Oh man. Aaron Masters, did I tell anyone that I lived in a school district bordering Dover the year Kitzmiller versus Dover went down? Wow. Very interesting. Interesting stuff. Very cool. And Donnie does that. I saw a show one time that said Noah's flood could be explained by the filling of the Black Sea or maybe Red Sea, one of those. Also, the 7 plagues could be a volcanic eruption. I did see a scientific explanation that most likely what is being touted as the global flood was actually basically runoff from the end of the Ice Age. That as those glaciers melted, they filled up particular areas. And of course, there was also the idea that that the Mediterranean or one sea over there was once locked off from the end there was a valley that was separated off from the Atlantic Ocean, and then or the something like that, and then that fell and it filled with ocean water. It's hard. I mean, there's a bunch of possibilities. And then, of course, I actually heard this really interesting one where the plagues, the Egyptian plagues, were explained as a sequence of events over a period of time that one thing led to the next. It was like a perfect storm of events. There was one big, calamity, and that led to a number of other things. That was a combination of like the environment and actual Egyptian culture at the time, which kind of exacerbated the situation. Namely, the firstborn of the family got the largest amount of food at mealtime. They got the biggest portion, which invariably led to them eating a lot of toxins that had built up because a lot of their food was taken from the Nile. There was an algal bloom that they didn't understand was toxic. They got the most toxins, so they died first, which is why the firstborns died. So it was just like a big long sequence of just events that just one thing led to the next. PhD Jones is filling the Black Sea has been debunked. See, I wasn't even aware of that. So, yeah, there's people who are more up to date than I. I mean, so much information out there. I'm not up to date on all of it, but that's why I surround myself with amazing people in my live chat that can keep me honest and keep me abreast of all of the advancements in these areas, the advancements in our understanding. Renee said, "Yep, red tide. That there was some event that triggered a red tide event in the Nile." And the vast majority of their food came from the Nile, and that this red tide is invariably the toxins that is produced in that invariably is what led to the deaths of the firstborn, because the firstborns always got the largest portions, so they were ingesting more toxins than anybody else at their meal times, and that invariably inevitably led to their deaths, and then so on and so forth. And then there was an outbreak of something that led to other things like mass death of fish. That mass death of fish led to an influx of insects that was eating the dead fish, and then the plague of frogs was because all the insects localized in one particular area. Then the frogs showed up to eat the insects. That was the plague of frogs, and then so on and so forth. And then, it was just crazy times. Yeah. H. Jasper says, for a tiny moment, I thought all that mess confused JL. I'm often confused. No, I'm all good. It was just craziness. John Rabb says, I've decided to only refer to DD as Gary Milne. His screen name is as offensive as his behavior. He's pretty offensive. He's a pretty offensive guy. And yeah, Otangelo, next time on here, bring some facts with you if you're still listening. Thank you, Bob Nodell. You're absolutely right. Robert Kessler says, my head is Conan O'Brien's eyes. Prepare for a monster. This is what it is. Oh, look at that. Thank you so much, Boomer. Boomer has joined the Godless Army. Thank you so much, Boomerstein. Boomerstein is a good friend from Discord that we've had a lot of awesome conversations, and Boomer is just amazing. He's an awesome dude over on the Politics and Religion Discord. We have a lot of fun over there. He helps out in the stages. So, Boomer, thank you so much for becoming a member of the Godless Army. You now get your Atheist Scientist badge, and you get access to all of the cool emojis I've made for you, like crying Otangelo. So thank you so much, Boomerstein. I really and truly appreciate that. Thank you very much. And boom, there's all those cool emojis. Thank you, Commander Darklight, for dropping those emojis. I hope that you like them. So interesting stuff. So, okay, so we talked about this for quite a bit. So let's jump to something a little bit more fun. And help me out here. Press 1 in the chat. I mean, I know you've got a lot of gamers. We got a lot of gamers in the chat. If you're a gamer, hit 1. Just press 1 if you're a gamer. I don't care what if you Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, whatever. So you know about it, because I like movies and I like games. They're a big part of my life. And if we got a lot of gamers, I'm just kind of curious about this because I want to throw this out there. We talked about it with Johnny very briefly. I want to talk about it with y'all now that we have the people here. So I see, we got a lot of gamers in the chat. Charlie Welch, Johnny Does That, Daryl M, Commander Darklight, Boomer H, Jasper, Aaron Massa, Robert Caslow. Games are a thing. We love games. I know that PhD Tony plays games as well. So I know he's a big gamer. Lots of games, all of this. Okay, so lots of gamers. Obviously, going back, gaming history, Nintendo, one of the big powerhouse, Mario, Link, all kinds of cool stuff. Donkey Kong. So Nintendo, one of the big mama jammas, and they used to do stuff. Back, art. There was cartoons. There was the Super Mario Brothers Power Hour. There was an old Legend of Zelda animated series, all kinds of cool stuff. So, but after the Super Mario Brothers live film with Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo, Dennis Hopper, things kind of pulled back. Nintendo has become very, very protective of their IP. I remember reading about it was like pulling teeth to try and get Link for Soul Calibur 2. Because Soul Calibur 2, Xbox had Spawn, PlayStation had, there were 3 versions. Xbox version had Spawn, PlayStation version had Heihachi from Tekken, and then I guess the GameCube version had Link as a special player. So it was even difficult to do that because Link wasn't available on the other ones, only available on the GameCube version. So it was difficult. They're very protective of their IP. They don't want people ruining it. The Super Mario Brothers movie was an absolute debacle. Bob Hoskins was ripped on tequila most of the shooting. It was just insane. So, given that, it's understandable why they'd be hesitant to put their IPs out there for anybody to play with. And a big thing that came about was that there's going to be a new Super Mario Brothers movie. Now it will be animated. They are teaming up with Illumination, which is the same company that did the Despicable Me film. The Despicable Me movies. So that animation company is behind it, and they have announced the voice cast of the new Super Mario Brothers film. And so I know you guys are going to know these names. So I'll just make sure I don't forget any. So yeah, okay. So the voice of Mario is going to be Chris Pratt of Guardians of the Galaxy fame. So the voice of Mario will be Chris Pratt. The voice of Luigi will be Charlie Day. Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, who plays Charlie on Always Sunny. Always Sunny. Oh, there's that crap. Let's go ahead and get that shut down. Let's block that one. Let's get that out of here. I think Tangelo is trying to porn bomb us in the chat, so we'll shut that down. So yeah, so Chris Pratt will be Mario. And Charlie Day will be Luigi. Anya Taylor-Joy from you remember her from New Mutants, from Split. Anya Taylor-Joy will be the voice of Princess Peach. Jack Black is the voice of Bowser. Keegan Michael Key is the voice. Keegan Michael Keel is the voice of Toad. As I see that Boomer just pointing up, Keel from Key and Peele fame is the voice of Toad, and I think, and you'll see there was Jack Black, there was them, and I think there was, yeah, I got to it, Marcus. It's all good, and I think there were a couple. Oh yes, let me see. There's a number of other names, but they're not as well known as the primary cast. So I'm curious. Mario Cast, it's slated for 2022 is when the movie will come out. And Charlie Day, Jack Black, Seth Rogen will be the voice of Donkey Kong. So I'm curious what people think of this. Now, hey, Ali Malik said, this is cloudy. What's up, Holo? What's happening, Chief? Good to see you. And yes, Renee, the folks behind the Despicable Me series are awesome. They're really good over there. And Robert Cazzo, yep. Who will play the gorilla who played Donkey Kong? Seth Rogen is the voice of Donkey Kong. So here's the question. What do we think of this? As like, does anybody care? I mean, first off, does anybody care? Two, if you are a Nintendo fan, I have no doubt that you have an opinion. And I'm kind of worried. I am. Yeah, Aaron Moss and Jack Black was just nuts as Helmet Fullbear in Psychonauts 2. Psychonauts 2 was an amazing game. And Jack Black is a fantastic voice actor. I love him as Poe in Kung Fu Panda. So Skooma Cat says at least it's not a live action. Agreed. It's completely animated, done by the guys behind the people behind Despicable Me. Illumination does fantastic work. So I know the animation is going to be good. Nintendo is a full producer behind it. So, they're going to be behind there. Clive Well says, I don't care. I would expect not to. Peach Tony says, I like the cast. Very cool. Maybe it is. Maybe it will be the case. So, and Boomer says, I'm completely convinced that the movie is a troll. Fish Like a Girl is in the house. Good to see you. Says, hello, JL. Hello. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And Robert Kess says, sounds interesting. Might be a little over milking of a genre. Or Boomer says it's an attempted meme movie. And yeah, I can tell you myself personally, I'm 50-50. Now, I've never been a tremendous Nintendo fan. I am a big Pokemon fan. I was a Pokemon fan back when Red, Blue, and Yellow came out. I still play Pokemon Go when I'm out and about. But I liked Mario Party. I grew up playing Mario Party. I grew up playing, Mario Kart. Mario Sunshine was a fantastic game. I loved that. Mario 64 was one of the best Mario games ever made. I still have my Pikachu version of the N64. I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 on this because I mostly I don't know if Chris Pratt can. I don't know if Chris Pratt can pull off Mario's voice. I can tell you this: Alan Tudyk could have. Tudyk could do that voice. So I'm surprised he's not a member of this cast because Alan Tudyk is amazing. I would have cast him as Mario. So yeah, I'm just I'm curious. Boomer says I'm just terrified this will be a Sonic trailer situation with Bowser and Donkey Kong. I think they may take what happened with Sonic and the whole like weird baby teeth and weird eyes, and they went more with the animated version of Sonic, the one that they use now. That's the only thing that saved the Sonic movie was the design of Sonic when they acquiesced. When they capitulated to the fans, said, that's a fucked up Sonic. We don't want that Sonic. We want this Sonic. And they were like, okay. They went back and they redesigned it. You're good to go. That's the only thing that saved that movie. Had it been the other Sonic, that movie would have flopped. Boomer says, Seth Rogen just making ape noises for the film would give me life. Seth Rogen is funny. The question is, will Seth Rogen's laugh work for Donkey Kong? I can't do his laugh. So, I don't know. Charlie Watch says, Pratt did some cool things with his voice here and there on Parks and Rec. Good point. I'm kind of cool. Yeah, and yes, Donnie does that. You are correct. Donnie does that. It sounds cool. I'd be interested to see what the story actually is, considering it's Mario and Donkey Kong is involved in this. So this is kind of like Mario Universe instead of just a Mario story. I'm really curious about this. And I think there's a number of other characters that are going to be in it as well. So, but yeah, the actors are lesser known. But yeah, I'm very, very curious about this. Like, where is it going to go? So I guess we'll find out. But yeah, that was big news that came along the pipe that Nintendo was actually revitalizing the genre, revitalizing Mario to kind of, to make a new movie that came out of nowhere. It's like, holy shit, there they are. The other thing that this is interesting. Now, I don't know. Oh, Thor Rasmussen's in the house, another member of the Godless Army. Thank you so much, Thor Rasmussen says, good morning, JL and chat. Good morning, Thor Rasmussen. Good to see you. Atheist Mando says, art is subjective. If you like it, nice. If you don't, cool. I'll wait till I see it. Same with No Way Home. Good point. Excellent point there. I agree. Let me see here. So, but yeah, this should be interesting. Well, I guess we'll reserve judgment until the evidence is in. That's what I did. Yeah, see what I did there. I'll let myself out. So, I don't know if my other friend is still in the chat. I was chatting with him. Many Hanged Man. I don't know if he's still here. Oh, Bob Nodell's Gyroscope says, JL, going to have to bounce nearly 3:30 a.m. here. Catch you in the next one. Catch you, sir. Thank you so much for coming by, Bob. It's always a pleasure to see you. Thank you so much for your support. You have a great night. Get some rest. H. Jasper says, when Death Track wasn't a racing game, Mario Kart got me into racing, and I never stopped since. Mario Kart was a fantastic game. Fantastic game. Love Mario Kart. Especially Mario Kart 64. That was just greatness. Robert Cass says, they made Venom PG-13. But apparently, I think Let There Be Carnage is going to be R. I'm not sure. Or maybe, I don't know. Or maybe they're just keeping Deadpool R. I have no idea. So if someone knows the rating on Let There Be Carnage, if somebody knows the rating on that, let me know. John Rep says, video games? Oh, I thought we were still on religious fantasy. It was only the lack of doom and gloom that delineated it. No doom and gloom when talking about Mario. No doom and gloom there. And I actually would have used Mario's image kind of like, so, to denote on the thumbnail, but I was afraid Nintendo would shut me down if I used his likeness. So I'm not going to do that. Charlie Watt says, The Witcher is a good game adaptation. It is. And there's a new trailer released for the second season of The Witcher on Netflix. So that looks to be interesting. And there was also a first look at the Sandman series coming to Netflix from Neil Gaiman. And I'm very curious about that. I saw it's got Charles Dance in it, and they're doing the opening scene from the first issue, the summoning of Morpheus. So I'm really curious where that's going to go, considering after how Stars handled American Gods and pissed everybody off by fucking over Orlando Jones, and then leaving us with the giant cliffhanger of season 3 and then canceling the fucking show. Fuck Stars. They pissed me the hell off. Sandman's looking decent. I hope that Gaiman's work gets treated a lot better. I hope that Netflix treats Sandman like Amazon is treating Good Omens, because Good Omens is magnificent. So if Amazon and Netflix, I hope that they continue doing that and treating it well. Fuck Stars for the way they treated American Gods. That shit pissed me off. Because Orlando Jones was transcendent in that series. Renee says, JL, if you've never watched it, check out the Dio video for the song Push. It features Tenacious D at the beginning and at the end. Awesome, because Dio was in Pick of Destiny. Yeah. Very cool. I'll have to check that out. And, Robert Kessler, Diablo 2 is my jam. Diablo 2 was fucking amazing. Diablo 2 was absolutely stunning. I love that game. And, of course, the remaster is coming out soon, which I hear everybody's going to be jumping on. Me, I'm stuck in World of Warcraft until I decide to quit, which may be soon, actually. So I haven't decided yet. I just broke 30,000 achievement points in World of Warcraft. I think I may be finally putting World of Warcraft down here pretty soon. I haven't decided yet, but I just might. And yes, Peach Tony, Good Omens relied heavily on an amazing cast. David Tennant, was absolutely amazing. Michael Sheen, their chemistry is absolutely brilliant. Get thee behind me, foul thing. After you. This just the way they interact. I love my favorite moment in all of that live and all of the live action was them right before the flood, and they're standing there. They're just like looking at us, like looking at what they're doing, and then it's like, oh, Shem, one of the unicorns. Oh no, he's gone. That was brilliant. One of the unicorns is getting. Oh no, he's gone. Oh well. Oh, absolutely hysterical. Boomer's right. Lucifer is a good show too. Lucifer good show too, and an offshoot from Sandman, because that's where the Lucifer series came from. People loved the character of Lucifer in the Sandman series so well that they branched off and did Lucifer as well. So I'm curious. So since we're kind of like in this topic, I was talking with I don't want to make sure I get his name right, with Many Hanged Man, and there was something that was interesting that we were talking about, and that is when I was a believer, when I was a theist, I always, even when I was young, all the way up to the time that I started deconverting, I was always given the creeps, or it was always kind of skeevy, the idea of the sacrament. The ritual of communion always kind of skeeved me out a bit. And it was the cannibalistic undertones of it that just for some reason it never sat well. Some emotional reason it always bothered me. That even though it was a mock act, it's just the communion wafers, the sacramental wine. Even though it's just the mock act of it, the fact that it was being condoned, that this notion was condoned, it was very creepy to me, and it always kind of unsettled my stomach. And it was kind of like, going, just get through the ritual, get through it, and then just move on. It's just a wafer. It's just a wafer. It's just, it's non-alcoholic wine or whatever. And we'll move on. But for some reason, just the mock act, the almost condoning of cannibalism always bothered me. And so we were talking about a cannibalistic movie in the last week in horror, which is We Are What We Are, which is about a fundamentally religious family in which cannibalism is a part of their ritual. And I was sitting there thinking about why cannibalism is so taboo in Western culture. And follow me, I may be totally wrong here because I was kind of connecting the dots in my head. And the reason why cannibalism is so taboo in culture, despite the fact that there's such a history of cannibalism throughout humanity, throughout the human race. Many cultures have engaged in cannibalism, around the world. And some have not, but the ones that haven't, I'm kind of curious. I put it together, it kind of like the dots kind of connected. I may be totally wrong here, but the idea of eating of Christ, the body of Christ, the blood of Christ, the idea of this is that to take Christ's, love into yourself, into your, to basically share it with, in Christ's power, to take Christ's power and love into yourself. But the very notion of this, of the cannibalism of something other than Christ, of eating others for like health, sustenance, for essentially for their power, to keep you alive. That the idea of this is taboo because it's not just because you're eating your fellow man. It's because you are rejecting Christ and the power of Christ in favor of deriving your power from someone else, from something else other than Christ. So I think it was the rejection of that, which is what made it so taboo in Western culture. And then, of course, in other cultures as well. I mean, I think the advent of Christianity across the world is what made it kind of like that. And I was like, it's interesting. Why it's kind of like it has the same kind of thing as Satanism, stuff like that. Why this kind of are put in the same field, and it just struck me as interesting in that respect. I was kind of like, what if that is the case? What if that's the reason why it looks like that? Now, I'm not saying that people should engage in this. There was an interesting connection there because in cannibal films, like Cannibal Holocaust, it's or like The Green Inferno, it's such a visceral reaction to it. And that taboo nature, I think, is because of Christianity. It's the effect of that. It's made it not just an act, a kind of unsanitary, gross kind of act of eating other humans, which, it's just kind of gross. But it's the act of not choosing Christ to do that, which is why I think indigenous Americans were so repelled by the idea, because the idea of eating of the body of Christ, drinking of the blood of Christ, and taking that power into yourself is so akin to how you become a Wendigo. Eating the body and drinking the blood of other people and gaining their power, consuming their spirit, and then the hunger becoming craven and desperate, and you need more, and it's bottomless. And then the concept of like, and all you have to do is eat of our God, and like this was like, that's kind of freaky to them. Yes, Omni, you are correct. Have you seen, like in the as said in the movie Ravenous, and it was the movie Ravenous that made me look into this, and they said the idea of communion and sacrament was very freaky, it was incredibly freaky to many indigenous American tribes. So I found them to be really wild. So there's a kind of connection there that Christianity had that effect. That's the reason why these particular movies are so taboo. The reason why the concept is so terrifying to many cultures that Christianity was trying to convert. Because they had to essentially go in there and break them of their belief structures in order to impose their own belief structures on them. So it was an interesting conversation in that respect. And I know there's probably not a lot of feedback from the audience on this. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not. It's just an interesting thing to think about in that. Peach says, no, look up Kuru. You get some nasty diseases. Agreed. Absolutely. John Rapp says, what happens in church really, really, really should stay in church. It really does. Robert Kess says Bill Belichick is a Lord of the Sith. Yes, he is. He is a Lord of the Sith. Commander Darklight says, is the body of Christ meant to be actual flesh of Christ or... That's funny. PH Tony says cannibalism is unsanitary. It absolutely is. Daryl M says, when is the Sandman TV series coming out? I believe that it's scheduled for this year because they've been working on it. Sandman, Netflix is scheduled for... When is this? What did that release date? Tom Sturridge is playing Dream. Interesting. And Kirby Howell Baptiste is playing Death. Oh, Gwendolyn Christie from Game of Thrones. Brienne of Tarth is going to be up in this. Very cool. So let me see. It is slated for... Does it have a release date? So I think due to the prolonged development, Netflix signed a deal to produce the series in June 2019. Filming lasted October 2020 to August 2021. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is helping to produce, and it looks like... Oh, he exited over creative differences in 2016. Okay, no, so because I think he was wanting to play Morpheus. I think that he was wanting to play that. So transition to television. I don't... Gaiman is more involved than he was with American Gods, but less involved than he was with Good Omens. And I think firstly, no, I don't have it. I don't see an actual release date on this just yet. Gwendolyn Christie is Lucifer. This series incarnation of Lucifer is much closer to the character's original depiction in the comics. Very cool. It would be difficult to reconfigure the Lucifer version portrayed by Tom Ellis so he would fit back into Sandman. Although having Ellis reprise his role was considered for it, but it will be Gwendolyn Christie, who was Brienne of Tarth, will be Lucifer in the new series. I don't see a release date on this as of yet. There may not be one that's completely out yet, so I do not know. Yep, Omnior Sporo says, yep, Catholics believe in transubstantiation, where the wafer becomes God's flesh when it hits the tongue. Same with wine. Agreed. Yeah, it's freaky stuff. It's weird. And Boomer says, I still prefer Tom Ellis. Tom Ellis is cool as shit. I like him in that work. If you want to see him do some early stuff, check him out when he was in Merlin, the BBC series Merlin, which is a favorite. Yeah, actually, I love that series. But check him out with that. Yep. Scuba Cat, yep. Yeah, Gwendolyn Christie is playing Lucifer. This should be really interesting, especially if they're making sure that it really adheres to the comic. So, to the graphic novel. I'm really excited for that. That's really cool. Commander Dark, like, Jenna Coleman. Aaron Moss says, I just thought of the game Path of Exile, one of the deities in that universe, the ever-hungry Katava. Yeah. And Charlie Wood says, Brienne of Tarth. Awesome. I'm watching GOT right now. Awesome. Very cool. Yeah. So Brienne will be Lucifer in the new series. So very cool. And she is a fantastic actress. And she was actually on a show, an almost kid show, a BBC kid show. Gwendolyn Christie. And if you haven't seen this, if you haven't seen one of the characters she played, where she played an alien on this series, and because everybody knows her as Brienne, and she played a badass alien. I said, God dang, I want to find it. Yes. So Brienne of Tarth played a badass alien in this one series, and I actually want to pull this. I actually want to pull this up so people can see it. And this was from what show was this from? Wizards versus Aliens was the name of the show, and this was let's see. And this was Gwendolyn Christie in that show, which is fantastic. 1 second, and I'm going to do. Oh, there we go. Let's zoom in on that. So this was Gwendolyn Christie in the show Wizards vs. Aliens, which was on the BBC. And I think this is really, really cool because I found out about this after I found out about Brienne of Tarth. That was her character in Wizards vs. Aliens, which is pretty badass. And she played one of two aliens that were whose basically their evil plans were constantly being foiled by these young wizards on Earth. So, but that is Gwendolyn Christie as this alien, which is just and she was badass. She was badass in that role. So she was freaking awesome. So I think that she'll be good as Lucifer. I think she will. See what we got here. Yeah, she wasn't not a wizard. She was an alien, and she was a big badass, powerful alien, which is cool. President Starscream says Sandman was a wild ride from start to finish. I had no idea it was being adapted to screen. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be very cool. Maximal says, for someone who never saw that, this pic looks weirdly photoshopped. No, I promise it's not photoshopped. I promise it isn't. There was another, let me see here. This is a picture. This is a picture of them from the set. And we can do this. And this was a pic from the set with the other gentleman who, let me see, who played. There we go. So that's the two of them together. So that was the two powerful aliens in that series, and she's the one on the right. But yeah, that was it. Was a fun series. It was cute, and she was pretty badass. And yes, Omni, you are correct. She was Captain Phasma. Yeah, she was a badass in this. It was really fun to watch. She had a lot of fun with it. She brought everything, all of her talent to playing that role. But it was pretty cool. Wizards versus aliens. You can check. I'm pretty sure you can find it somewhere. Ryan Anance. Welcome. Says, why I get no notice, YouTube? Do you have the bell clicked? Bell for notifications. Let's see. And Nimrod's in the house. Good to see you, Nimrod. Hello, everybody. Pleasure to have you here. Fantastic. And Boomer, you're right. Phasma was too underused. Absolutely. Oh, yeah, it may be the color contrast on that. It may be. So, but yeah, but it was a cute show, and it was cool to see something before her Game of Thrones days, when she was out there being a badass. So I thought that was pretty cool. All right, so man, it has been an exciting 2 hours and almost 15 minutes. We've gone over a bunch of stuff. The new Mario movie coming out by Nintendo. We've gone over Cannibalism. We had Otangelo come in and freak out and bombard the chat with. I'm pretty sure that's Otangelo who's bombarding the chat with porn stuff. I'm pretty sure that's him. So just, our mods, we got mods in the chat. Just go ahead and shut that shit down whenever you get the opportunity. Ryan and Ann says, it's done this to me since I signed into my laptop. I think it's my phone interfering. Possible. And Commander, yeah, agreed. Her whole arc was another Disney mess up. Yeah, Disney screwed that all up. They totally screwed over Phasma. It should have been a lot more to that. She was an awesome character. Gwendolyn Christie is a terrific actress. So yeah, they totally wasted that. It was an absolute waste. All right, so let me see. Well, Otangelo has stopped bombarding me on Discord, which is cool. Oh, Boomerstein. Oh, Boomerstein. I get that. Yeah, the politics and religion, the PNR legend rank, which I actually got myself as well. So yeah, just keep going at it. You'll eventually get it. It's just a matter of being on there, being in Discord for a amount of time. All right. Robert Kaz says, should we have Otangelo for dinner? Oh, I think he'll be very bland. I think it'll be very bland. It will. Yeah, it's gonna get it started so good and ended so bad. Yeah, it was just bad. Daryl and we were talking about the politics and religion Discord. And of course, if you're on there and you're active, you're steadily active, you can get different ranks. And I just recently got the PNR legend rank on that one. And so Boomerstein is working towards that as well. You just got to be active in that chat. Robert Caslow says no, or sorry, Clive Wells says no, his brain is definitely diseased. Yep. Commander Darklight, bland and a little shit. Oh, Maximal says, for one, I think the dinner would be a bit salty. It would be salty, wouldn't it? Salty like Otangelo's tears. Oh, what a chump. Silly stuff. I was hoping that I would be able to get this one particular theist on, but all of the theists I've invited to be on have all been... they all say either they're not prepared or they want to do more research or something to that effect. But I'm hoping to get another theist on here soon. Jack Burton, thank you so much for linking my live stream up there in the chat and in the Counterapologetic chat. I appreciate that. Very cool. All right, man. So, we covered a bunch of stuff, and all the topics that I wanted to cover. So Charlie Welch did request that I kind of go around the room and show the cool stuff that I have, and just kind of like looking at like some of the autographs that I have down there, or like the various things in my. I should probably point this way. The various things in my glass cases, like my dragon collection, the stuff that's over here. You can see the Michael Whelan. What is it? Right here? No, it's right there. You can see the Michael Whelan. Number one, that's what they're like all the dragons I've collected, the autographs, the cool stuff around here. So much weird. Obviously, my gamer case, all the weird gamer stuff that I've got. So yeah, I will get around to doing that. Just kind of like show everybody all the cool stuff that I have in here. Like I recently added something cool that I found. It's hard to see, but you see those two like mugs up there. That's a mug, and that's a mug. Right next to the globe, right next to my grandfather's globe from the I think this from the 60s. It's a globe from the 60s. And then, of course, you've got a mug there, a mug there. Those are Texas Ren Fair mugs from 1988, which I recently found that were in mint condition, which are pretty badass. So I recently added those to my collection that they were really, really cool. And then, of course, you can see up there, there's the beating you license plate. Or it's not the original, it's not the real one. It's just a replica one that has Jonathan Breck's signature on it. That I got from Texas Frightmare Weekend. Then of course you see the Jason mask that has CJ Graham from Friday 6 is up there. A dragon, a wood carved dragon that was made specially for me. The hat that it's kind of dark over there, but the hat that that Irish Demon sent me, and the boomerang they sent me is up there as well. I think you can see. You go, whoop, there's that boomerang right above H.P. Lovecraft and The Thing. All kinds of interesting. I just a collection, just a wide variety of stuff that I've collected over the years. Because I'm a pack rat and I love really, really interesting shit. Various autographs. Todd McFarlane autograph on an original on the series 1 Spawn. Just kind of like sitting on my desk. I need to like hang him up so he's just not like sitting there getting I don't want him to get damaged. But yeah, just interesting things, weird stuff that people send me, like very good, like a Mewtwo in a Pokeball. That has a little light up base. So like a Mewtwo, I know. So yeah, there you go. So you can see the Mewtwo in there, like Mewtwo in a Pokeball. Just interesting things you come across, that people just send you. All right, let me see here. Atheist man, so we were a little offensive with religion, so I think we should tone it down and let's talk politics. JK. Let's not do that. Let's not do that at all. And yep, he would be a bit salty. Orangutan. Ryan Anon says, I'm currently playing Call of Cthulhu on my Xbox. Love H.P. Lovecraft. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. Here's a question. Oh, Renee says, I plan on eventually creating a video of my treasure room. All sorts of neat stuff in there aside from my guitars. Very cool. Love to see that. Awesome stuff. So and I played Call of Cthulhu as well, Ryan Anons. I do love that. I do love that game. I think you'll dig the endings on it. So let me ask. Okay, so I wrote a novella when I got out of my job. Everybody knows my story, knows the story about that. I left this job that I was at, soul crushing, had no creative outlets whatsoever for almost 7 years. And this is from the person who's an actor, director, writer. No, I had no opportunity to do anything. I was so consumed by that job, I just couldn't do anything. I was always too exhausted to do anything. So when I left that job, first thing I did was I wrote a novella. And that novella was Lovecraftian inspired. There's my boy HP. Dang it. I got to get this out. There's my boy HP, always looking over my shoulder, telling me I should be writing. So, and thank you, Maximal's personal profile. Thank you, Maximal. I appreciate it. So that was fun. I need to come in here more often. It was a pleasure having you. It's always a pleasure to see everybody. Be sure to smash that like button on the way out if you'll be taking off. So I appreciate you coming in. So I wrote this novella and I was considering doing an audio version of it. Of doing an audiobook version of it and maybe putting that out there. So I was considering that. I don't know if it'd be my voice, if I could do the Lovecraft voice very well. I'm not sure. Maybe I could. Maybe I can. I've never really done audiobook stuff before. It would be kind of a new experience for me, which I think would be fun. But yeah, I've been thinking about it. It's possibly doing an audio version of the book and releasing that to maybe patrons or maybe to channel members, or maybe doing it as part of Week in Horror for the patrons over there or whatever. I don't know. Commander Darklight. Oh yeah, Commander Darklight just sent me a message. Something he thought I'd find cool. That dragon bench is badass. That needs to be in my backyard. That's pretty damn sweet. That's pretty awesome. I can show you. He sent me a picture of this because I love dragons. I'm a huge dragon fan, and he sent me a picture of this. which is pretty badass. Let's, I don't know if I can make that any bigger. There we go. I think it should be big enough for everybody to see. Should it be? Oh, there you go. That's cool as shit. Oh, there's a little kitty on it too. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. But yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool in my backyard. That'd be pretty awesome. Oh, Redding. Yes. Yeah. It was a very interesting biopiece. A writer and actor. Yeah. I did stage acting. I've been a stage actor for I think a little over 20 years now. I've done stage performances, but also, I'm a writer, I'm a screenwriter, I'm a director, producer. I've done, a number of films. We have a movie that's currently going into pre-production right now, which is a remake of a horror film from the 80s, which is really, really cool. So all kinds of cool stuff, just big opportunities. And a lot of them came about because of Week in Horror and the support for Week in Horror that everybody has shown. I wouldn't be able to do a lot of stuff if it wasn't for you guys' support. So, but yeah, I've considered, doing a possible audio version of my book, of my novella, 9 short stories. So, Boomerstein, that rank goes in there automatically. It depends upon the amount of time you've spent active in the channel. That's how you'll get that. It's not automatic. It's automatic. When you hit a certain threshold, it'll give you that rank. It's not handed out arbitrarily. So very cool stuff. Atheist Man says, speaking of books, I am actually updating and expanding upon the premise of the story I'm writing, going into a more philosophical questioning with politics into being tertiary. Very cool. Dang it. And yes, Renee, I have a pretty massive dragon collection. Which you can see in those glass cases back there. Dragons back there in that glass case. Dragons there. This one over here. I got them. There's so many. As a matter of fact, you can't really see, but I mean, I will try and do I'll try and do a video where I can show you guys what all are in the cases, because you can kind of glimpse some of them. Wrong way. You can kind of glimpse some of them. There's a bunch over there, and I've got them from all over the world. I've had people send me dragons from their travels. I've had stuff that I bought myself, and one of my, I got some great big ones, and I've got some super, super tiny ones. Really funny stuff. Really fun stuff. I really love them. So I've been collecting them since I was 15. Since I was 15 years old, and I am now 41. So I've been doing it. Yeah, I've been doing it a long time. Donnie just says, me and you still need to have a conversation about board games. We do, because I have a board game that I made, and I don't have it here where you can see it, but I mean, I can. I have it in my gaming thing. In my gaming, you can see I opened the door on that. That's actually a glass case right there. But yeah, that's the game that my best friend and I made. We love board games, and we decided to make one ourselves. And that is the game that we developed, called Briefcase, which is a hidden information game where you compete with other super spies to try and find the mission and then get the MacGuffin and then be the first one out of the complex in order to win the game. That's the objective and everything. So, but these are the characters that you play. We had planned some expansions for it. Yellow, blue, green, red. They all have their own superpowers, their own capabilities. Like red can steal from other players. Green has movement capabilities. Blue can hack rooms and control stuff. And yellow has the ability to teleport. So all kinds of interesting stuff. But this was fun. And it took us about 2 years. 2 years to get it from just writing down on paper notes to an actual boxed product that has, its own rule book and player cards, which we thought were really, really cool. So these are the player cards that we did. These are the backs of the player cards with the actual data that you need on front. So yeah, this was something that we were like, why, we play board games all the time. Why not make our own board game? So, we did. There's the room cards, the tiles that you create the compound with, tokens. And then, of course, if you were to buy this and we mass produce it, there would be the stickers that you would put on them. So you could actually apply them how you want. And then, of course, all the punch outs. These are the punch outs where you punch out all the different. Actually, these are the equipment cards. These are the cards that you use to play the game and get equipment and various stuff. And these are the room cards that you would punch out. And these would be all your room tiles. This is how you would, and from this assembled block, because you can see there's a bunch in here, you would shuffle these up, and the every time you play, the compound changes every time. So that was the intention. Hidden information game, spies battling each other to find the MacGuffin. It was a 3-phase game, which is pretty cool. It starts out nobody knows what the mission is, then one person knows, then everybody knows, and this super action and all kinds of cool stuff. But yeah, called Briefcase. So from J Squared Games, that was our that is our game production company. So yeah, we took this to PAX Unplugged one year, trying to maybe sell it and maybe garner some interest in it, and nobody was picking up games like this, unfortunately. I put on my best salesman hat and I tried to sell this crossboard. We got lots of play testing done. Everybody who played it loved it. Nobody was willing to pick it up, unfortunately. So, but yeah, we made a board game. That was pretty much it. So it was a lot of fun. The development was a lot of fun. So, but yeah, that was cool. Put him back up. There we go. And bingo. But yeah, it was fun. We just kind of did that. So I've totally neglected the chat. Let me see. Renee says, for me, the film Dragon Slayer is a cult classic. Hell yes. Dragon Slayer was awesome. 1981, it was fantastic. I think it was 81 or 82. Great stuff. Robert Caslow, who has better manners, Jason or Leatherface? Jason does, because Jason doesn't eat, so therefore he just, there's no way, Leatherface is messy at the table. Plus, blades cut more cleanly than chainsaws do. So obviously Jason has the better manners. Beaver C says hello. Good to see you, Beaver C. Fantastic. And Thor Rasmussen says, thank you for joining us, Beaver C. And then Thor Rasmussen says, you should do the audiobook. Do it, like Shia LaBeouf says. So I'll look into it. Maybe I've never done it before, so I'll look into it. President Starscream says, I used to collect dragons until ponies and Transformers took over my life. Transformers are awesome. As a matter of fact, I've considered going on eBay and looking for some of the original stuff, the original Series 1 for back in the 80s, see if I could find him. I'd really like a Grimlock. That would be cool. I'd like an original Grimlock. Just because I just love that particular one. An original Grimlock Transformer from back in it was 84 or 85 when they came out. I'd love one of those. Max says, is this what G-Man is hiding away from us? Grabica says, the Bible doesn't like fun. All of this is heresy. Yeah, this is true. Daryl Lamb says, bring it out as a print and play. Oh, that's a possibility. Oh, yeah. And then Renee, yep, Beaver C, you're right. James Bond stuff. Yeah, it's kind of where the idea came from, playing futuristic super spies. And Renee says, yep, 1981. Yep, fantastic. You know that encyclopedia is still working up there. That's what it is. But yeah, that was pretty much our board game that we made. You try your hand at a lot of things. We did a board game. We got a bunch of other ideas as well for board games if we can ever get one kicked off. Daryl says, or a Kickstarter. We think that there's some changes we need to make to it. We need to kind of streamline it a little bit. It's really good how it is. We think we can make it better. So we are currently working on that right now. Commander Darklight says, I used to have the original Optimus and my brother had Megatron, long lost and thrown away. So that's a bummer. That's sad. Because those are really cool. One thing I don't have it here to show at the moment. Well, one thing when I had the money, I bought a set of the original McDonald's Happy Meals toys that were the Transformers. That were the food deals that transformed into robots and then enclosed back up from the 80s. The original ones. And there were 7 of them. There was the ice cream cone, there was the hot cakes like that. And I when I had the money to do it, I was like, because I loved those as a kid. And so they're just pure nostalgia for me. So yeah, I wanted that. So I bought those. I don't have it here to show, but they're really, really cool. So because they work just fine. The original 1980s stuff, it was a blast. What's wild is that they were still in their packaging, which is insane. Somebody held on to those for that long. It's just crazy. Robert Caslow says, do you have anything on Battlestar Galactica? I do not have anything on Battlestar Galactica. I don't, unfortunately. Scuba Cat says, okay, good night, awesome people. Have to sleep. Behave. We will not behave. Maybe we will. I don't know. We have decided. But thank you, Scuba Cat, for joining. It's been an absolute pleasure. All right. Well, we've been going a little over 2.5 hours right now, and it was a little dicey. I know it was a little dicey because Team Skeptic went live at the exact same time. So I was a little worried about competing with him, but I see I've had an amazing number of people that have come in here. Atheist Mando, favorite Transformer generation, the original stuff. Series, I guess you call it Gen 1, Series 1. The stuff that I grew up with as a kid. So those are my favorites. Let's see. Commander Dark, let's see. Yep. Let's see. So, yeah. I was a little concerned about going live at the same time, Team Skeptic was, but I see I've had an amazing number of people here, an amazing audience that supports this channel. Yeah, all of the the cool new members that have joined and support the channel. You guys are freaking amazing. Brian Knott says, I'm going to rewind you and then start a new timeline of you. Beaver C says, Team who? He's still alive? He is still alive. He really is. He's out there. He's kicking ass, taking names, closing in on 50,000 subs, I think. Twinkie, well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's hard. It's hard when you get compliments like that on YouTube to know if people are being trolled or to know if they're sincere. I can only go off what the chat says. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. I don't consider myself all that handsome, but I do appreciate the compliment. I thank you very much. And yes, Caslo, the first Transformers movie is the best. It was. It'll kick you right in the feels. It absolutely will. Rubber Caslo says, Tangelo could teach us manners. What? It's so freaking true. So absolutely true. I was looking over there. And I could see that Dorf Dukins is live over there in Politics and Religion. Just, spouting his crap, doing his thing. Got virtually everybody in the chat muted because, I see everybody like a whole bunch of people like server muted because he's got a bot. He's got a Discord bot that he can put people's names into that automatically server mute them if they're in the same room as him. It just automatically shuts them down so they can't speak. And then to talk again on the server, you have to leave the room in order to do that. So I can see he's live doing his crap right now. Starscream says there are some great Gen 1 inspired toys in modern lines. I think my favorite are the Combined Wars. Very cool. Commander says, I think they're sincere. I do appreciate that. Thank you, Twinkie. I appreciate the compliment. I really do. I don't think this phase is as much like there, but I do appreciate the compliment. I really do. Man, oh man, it's been a hell of a conversation here. And we've had a lot of fun and had some good moments. But I think it's time to wind down. It's a little after 10 o'clock here. We've been going for 2.5 hours. And I don't want to hold anybody up if I've got nothing more to add. So I just don't have any other subjects here. But other than that, so I guess, unless anybody has something specifically they want to talk about, I had nobody that wanted to kind of come on the show and discuss, their beliefs or anything like that. So hopefully I'll be able to line that up in the future. I'd like that to be a common thing that we talk about on this channel because that's what I do with Bridge the Divide. That's my series. Fred Knott says, but I just got here for fuck's sake. I'm so sorry, Fred Knott. I apologize. Yeah. But we've been going for a bit, and we've hit all the topics that I wanted to talk about for this weekend. And so I guess, we'll jump. Well, no, because I was on Brainy Beaver Stream. We talked about the Gabby Petito situation. I think we talked that one to death. And the next thing I'm probably going to be doing I'm trying to decide what my next creative content is going to be while I work on the Christianity as a Cult series. While I'm working on that one, I'm trying to figure out what my next one's going to be. I don't know if I want to go after predatory psychics, people who think, take advantage of people's emotional vulnerability in order to get money from them. I don't know if I'm going to go after that or go after another theist. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm trying to decide. Meanwhile, enjoy the shorts as I continue to put them out. Just, my thoughts as, throughout the day. And that's pretty much it. So other than that, I hit all the things I wanted to talk about. So if new things come up, we'll definitely bring them up in the next live stream. So, and hopefully this will be a continuing thing that I can do. I have these amazing supporters who, super chat me and join my godless army, which is always an absolute blast. And you guys are amazing. So Renee says, great hangout, Jay. I might jump in and have a chat with you. Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be fantastic. Good stuff. All right, then. Well, since it's 2 hours, 36 minutes in, and we have gone through everything that we wanted to talk about tonight, we'll go ahead and leave it at that. So, yeah, if you like what you saw, if you enjoyed the conversation we had tonight, please like and subscribe. And, of course, hit that bell for notifications. Like I said before, and I'll close this up now, if you want to see me turn my beard pink, dye this pink for the remainder of the month of October, for all of October, jump over to Week in Horror and hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to Week in Horror. Get us up to 1,000. And if we hit those 1,000 subs over a Week in Horror, I will be happy to dye my beard pink in solidarity. So there's the link to it, to Week in Horror. Jump over there, sub over there. We get to 1,000 subscribers before October. I will have no choice. I promise. I will dye this beard pink for the remainder of October. Good to go. And then I'll try to take it out, or maybe I'll have to let it grow out. I have no idea, but we'll do that. So yeah, that's what's on the table. So jump over there. That's the horror film podcast that I run with Eugene, my fellow filmmaker friends, Eugene, Alex, and Johnny O. You can see us every single Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central, over on the Week in Horror channel, where we do our podcast. And then, of course, thank you, Commander Darklight, for hitting that sub button 3 times. I appreciate it. And that's pretty much it. So I guess unless something comes up and I go live before, I'll see you guys next Saturday. And until then, be safe, be excellent to each other, and I'll see you next time.